Hello. I'm about to come on camera. Give me just a second. I lost something. Very late at night for me. Well, not very late, it's 9, but so I'm looking a little casual. Hey Zayana, how are you? Hey Leon, and thank you so much for sorry, is that Roft L guy too? He's gifted some subs for us, which I really appreciate. Alright, let's see how I'm looking. I have not looked at myself, so whew. Okay. Yes, I'm looking very casual because it's, frankly, after I'm done with this, I'm probably going to bed. I have a very long day tomorrow. And got my special podcast tomorrow I'm doing. Oh, wait a second. I already see this is going to be a problem. I get very annoyed with these little thingamabobs. Got my special cloudy pillow with me. We are going to have lots of fun. Yes, I'm wearing Mickey Mouse pajamas, and I'm not ashamed. Yes, thank you. I got it from wish.com. Hey Rock, what's up? How's it going? Alright. Okay. Some moods of mine wondering if Remake is going to come out next year or 2023. I have been saying for about a year that it will not come out until 2023, and I stand by that. Okay, this is going to drive me crazy. Alright. Whatever. Whatevs. There we go. Something like that. Okay. Also got this off of wish.com. Yeah, I've been saying 2023 for about a year. Only because you have to think about Kingdom Hearts is coming out. And, you know, they're working on Kingdom Hearts and they're working on Final Fantasy 16, more importantly. We've already had a full trailer for Final Fantasy 16 and it's already been delayed. So they're going to drop 16 next year. If I had to... Hey, Walter, what's up? If I had to take a guess, they're going to drop 16 next year, so... And, oh, thanks, Rock, about the 113 followers. Yes, I'm very excited. That's one of my favorite numbers. Well, 13 is one of my favorite numbers. Hey, Trix. What's up? Well, that didn't sound right. Hey, you Trix, how are you? Hey, Trixie, how are you? Yeah, the 25th anniversary, you're right. The 25th anniversary is is in January. So that'd be a great time to announce for Final Fantasy VII Remake. And if they do, because it'd be weird to announce it before. I don't know that we'll get a release date January. What I think we'll get is a trailer in January. Then sometime soon we'll get an actual release date, if not the same month, for Final Fantasy 16. And then later in the year we'll get an actual release date for Remake. Oh, Strangers of Paradise. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Strangers of Paradise. No, but, you know. Yeah, you got a good point. Did they already give a release date for I don't know if they even gave a release date for Strangers of Paradise. I don't know. That ought to be. I mean, right now I'm thinking flop. Personally, I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking Strangers of Paradise won't do well, but not trying to be a Debbie Downer about it. But I'm not seeing the potential at the moment. Especially after that corny ass thing where he said bullshit and walked off the. You know, I was like, eh. And then Ever Crisis is really going to be like, I'm wondering how that's gonna go. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Sorry. I was playing Intermission the other day. Let's see. Title screen. Yeah, they said it's 2022. I thought that there was a release date for like March. But then I looked again and I think I just saw it wrong. Release date. But I could have sworn it said like February. Yeah, I wasn't wrong. Never mind. It says March 18th. So Strangers of Paradise is already slated. There's not going to be any issue as far as 16. And you see what I'm saying? Like, it's already a done deal. The release date is just a matter of giving them time to produce all the game, like produce the literal games, any hiccups that they may find, stuff like that. It's not going to be an issue. No, I'm not playing Intermission today. I was playing Intermission. Just on my own. I'm 2 trophies away from re-platinuming the game, if that makes sense. So I platinumed it on my old, like on my PS4 on my old account. Then I platinumed it on the PS5. No, yeah, I'm sorry. And then I platinumed it again on my new account, the Stygian Sis account. And then when Intermission came out, I still had the platinum, but it adds more trophies, even though you still have the platinum. So I don't have 100%. That's what I was doing. So I have to be Vice. Vice. I have to be Vice, and I have to do the little whack-a-box thing or whatever. Right now, we are going to play Chapter 3. Now that is not Chapter 3, but I needed to load the game to get to the chapter selection. So, if anyone is not aware at this point, and again, thank you so much. You said, I think you told me what I could call you. I'm sorry, the chat is going crazy. Roth L Guy 2. He gifted 5 subs. Really appreciate that. That's amazing. First time I've ever had that happen. Not entirely sure what it even means, but I'm happy that I'm happy that it happened. The game title on Twitch still says, crap! Oh, you mean at the top of my screen, or you mean... Oh, at the top of my screen, yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's change that. Thank you for pointing that out, because I didn't even think about that. All right. No, I didn't mean your name. I was talking about when I said that you gifted a bunch of subs. Oh, rolling on the floor laughing. Oh, okay. And that's what I thought it was supposed to be, but I was like, well, maybe he has something. You know, I mean, I didn't want to be like, oh, you got your name wrong, so... That's funny as hell, though. That you were trying to type something. That's funny. All right, let's just get it going. Yeah, you know what? I wonder. No, okay. Yeah, okay. Just forget about it. Now, let's go to Chapter 3, Home Sweet Slum. I wonder why they call this chapter Home for Cloud. I have no idea. Should I play on normal or hard? What do y'all think? Well, you know, I have the God of Damarang. I mean, it'll be easy. Let's do the hard. Yes. That is so funny. You were trying to spell rolling on the floor. Yeah, we know that Cloud's home now.
You guys.
So this is just really,
Sweetheart.
So glad you're home.
Don't worry.
this reunion between them is just so powerful.
Knew
to
it
me.
couldn't be
Like,
that bad.
you know,
No way.
she has no idea if he's alive or dead. I wonder if she's even, you know, she's in Midgar now. She's been there for years. I wonder if she ever even went looking for him. Or if she, you know, maybe because she said you
detonated
read
one,
newspapers
members
every day.
lost
You remember
zero.
OG.
And one
She
step
reads
closer
newspapers
to a
every day,
brighter
looking
future.
for information
Hell
about her and stuff like that.
Lower your voices,
I know
huh?
that she was in Midgar, but you know, she was
Listening.
going through so much at the time. She was half, you know, when she got there, she was half dead.
Now get some R&R. You've earned it.
Well, we know we're close.
Just be
yeah,
ready for the
she
next
was half
mission,
dead,
all right?
poor thing. You know, trying to rebuild her life. I just had so much going on. Was just kind of hoping that maybe they would cross paths one day,
See
and they
you
did.
soon.
And
At 7th Heaven,
one thing I'd like
You know
answered
where
in the
Tifa
next
works?
game is
Don't
well,
keep
it
her
wouldn't be
waiting.
the next game. It'd be
She'll
the third
worry.
game. Is how much time between when they reunited? I mean, my guess is it's the same day because you know Cloud hasn't even slept anywhere yet, as far as what Tifa's saying. So, oh, okay, all right. Let me fix that real quick. I would screw that up. Oh, the game. That's funny. Okay, I see what you're saying. I know people are like, is that Final Fantasy 9? Cool. How does it look now? Hey, man. What's up, Meza? Okay, cool. Thanks, Rock. Good looking out. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm this is actually, by the way, if you're into Final Fantasy 9, I'm on the 3rd disc, and I'm pretty sure we will be beating the game by next Sunday. So, just throwing that out there. You know, I'm gonna put the subtitles on because I'm not listening, I'm talking, and I'd like to be able to, even though I practically know every line of dialogue, because I'm a freak of nature. It still would be nice to just have it as reference. Let's see, camera control. Let's see. I guess it'd be on the audio. No. I'm really hoping we do not have any issues with the stream, by the way, but just in case if the stream cuts out, because I had my internet cut out yesterday. If it cuts out, I will be right back. So please stick around if that happens, but hopefully we will have no issues today. I'm going to do some extra tests tomorrow just to make sure I have no issues when I'm on Schrodinger's podcast. Isn't the only chapter except the end credits where the main theme plays? Probably. The main theme is, yeah, tie at the gate.
Train services have confirmed.
Yeah, they had the main theme in a lot of stuff. So, you know.
When I put him in charge of my stand,
One of my favorite
I told him,
finds
son,
was
the
my
goal
friend
isn't
from my
to make a
friend.
fortune.
Well, actually, Silver
It's to
will,
make people happy.
I think,
Someone's
mention it
having a
first,
bad
and
day.
maybe someone else.
Put a smile on
But
it.
Jedi Jenna on Twitter, I believe she has been involved in music in like 20 years, but she looked at the actual arrangements of chapter 8 when Cloud is having his dream about his mother. And you know, people just assume that it must be about her.
Sounds like a plan.
It must be about
We're free tomorrow,
Aerith
so let's do
because it's in her chapter, it's in her house. But Jedi Jenna looked at the actual score, and it's actually mixing a portion of A Tower of Promise along, I believe, with the main, I believe with maybe Claudia's theme or something like that. But the point is, the Claudia song is playing in the background. That, I just cannot get over that because I'd been, you know, like even I was fooled by that initially. I never thought that Claudia was literally talking about Aerith. And I still stand by the fact that I don't think it matters because who wants their mom to tell them who to have sex with, honestly? I mean, it's not a... Oh, my mom wants me to
Mako
have
is
sex
the
with this one.
lifeblood of the planet?
So, yeah.
The hell it is.
Okay.
Goddamn eco-warriors. Dumbass posters.
But it is...
Tear them down and they're back up inside
Just
in an hour.
just
like
the
I've got
way
nothing
that
better to
SE
do.
just like totally ninja'd that in there. You know what I mean?
Look at all that steel
Just by
work.
placing
You're trying
it
to tell me
in
that's not
Aerith's
progress?
house. people are automatically going to assume it's about her. But then the fact that they have a CloTi song playing in the background. I mean, it's just so. Oh man,
okay,
it is
buddy?
just. It's like magic the way they did. I just can't get over that.
Mako junkie, huh? Figures.
Let's see. The main. Yeah. Okay. And it's, Marl says he arrived yesterday. Or the day before yesterday. Yeah, exactly. I wonder. I mean, if he was anywhere, he would have been in a hospital. I guess. You know. I mean, if he was groggy, he was just coming out of that stupor of his. Maybe they took him to a doctor, but you know he doesn't. It's not like he says, you know, like as they're going around the town, oh, that's where you went, you know, or there's Doctor such and such. So hopefully they fill that in. A couple people in the chat said, "Oh, he was too loud over my voice." Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have it turned all the way up. How's that? Thank you. I appreciate that. Is that better? I don't know how I turned that up by accident. My bad. And it's super loud too. And then slept on the nasty slum floor. Oh my god, I hope not. But yeah, if it's still too loud, let me know. But and that's why I turned on the subtitles so we could, you know, appreciate that. Oh, you see, Rock, you'd make a great moderator. You make a great mod one day if I ever actually make it. Brian didn't want Tifa to get with Cloud. Yeah. Oh, he is crying so bad in the live stream now, especially if he like. I don't know. Well, Aerith I think is special, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't laugh at the idea that Brian would be checking in on Tifa every once in a while and he'd see a few things. She's like, yeah, Dad, do you remember that little boy lived next door that you couldn't stand? Well, he's a grown man now.
Daddy, you're home.
All right, this is a great. Okay, this is so great. I love this.
Have you been a
Hey, my guy, what's up, baby?
Tifa.
Oh, you did.
Nice to see you. I'm so happy everybody's stopping by. I just love CloTi. I love this part.
You made it.
Yeah, he's giving me real mod vibes. He is amazing.
I can't remember the last time I saw a real one.
For one Twitch stream. Oh, really? See, I don't know anything about Twitch, honestly. I mean, I've been trying to like find a tutorial at some point or something. I don't know a thing about Twitch. I know that Tifa way. Now look at her face. So let's just pause here for a moment.
I need to talk to Barrett.
Right. Come on in.
And now that we have Tracer 2 Pass, whenever I see this scene now, it just it's so everything hits so much harder now that we have Tracer 2 Pass and all of what's going on through Tifa's perspective. So can you imagine, you know, you run into the guy who you've been in love with for 7 years, never thought you'd see him again, and then like he goes on this bombing mission for you, and he comes back and he has this flower, and you just ask him about it, and he hands it to you, and it's like Casanova, you know, this Casanova way, and you know, you can just imagine what's going to like, oh my, you know, I mean, you know, we've all had crushes on somebody. And just to talk to somebody who I'd have had a crush on for that long, hands me a flower like that, and then I look it up later and it means reunion of lovers. I mean, it's just so, I'm just so happy for Tifa in this moment. You know what I mean? Like, and she just deserves the world. She has gone through so much. She has gone through so much, and she's such a strong character. But what I love about with Cloud is he knows how strong she is, and he allows her to be that person. But he's always there if she needs a shoulder to cry on, quite literally. You know what I mean? Like he's always going to be that rock for her, and she's always going to be that rock for him. It's just such a CloTi is just ridiculous. I can't even stand it. I'm gushing just like talking about it.
Ask Tifa. She takes care of all that.
Yeah, she is so pumped, and then he's already doing things that suggest that he might have feelings for her too. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing to have the person you love there, but then when you start feeling like maybe my feelings are being reciprocated.
My daughter like that.
I'm just so happy for Tifa.
Daddy says never talk to strangers.
Y'all can call me Happy, and my pronouns are they, she.
That's
oh, cool.
Right, honey, I do say that. What a good girl you are, remembering Daddy's lessons.
Happy,
You know what
and
else
there
good
she.
girls do?
Awesome.
They go to bed on time. Come on.
Yes, I just kind of go with, like, you know why I've been calling you he, because
I wanna
your name is
talk some
Rock.
more, Daddy.
I like the first part of your name is Rock.
Alright,
And of
just
course,
this
Naruto immediately went through my head. So I'm like
so
Rock?
then,
Like
what can
Naruto
I get
Rock?
My money. I'm still waiting on it.
Right.
Some Tifa emotes I like. Whoop,
About
whoop.
that.
Oh my god,
We should
Tifa is so
talk.
adorable.
Outside.
Look at the way she, you know, Tifa's a little minx, okay? Now, I know she has not dated anybody or anything, but Jessie really taught that girl some moves. Because look at the way she walks. Look at the way she, like, when she stands, she does this little, you know. She's real girly. And all that stuff really comes out when she's talking to Cloud. Like, she doesn't do all that when she's talking to Barrett or Wedge or them. But all
Before we
those
get
cute
on to
little
money,
poses she does,
there's an empty
that all
apartment in a
comes
place
out
just
when
down the
she's
road.
around Cloud.
It's nothing fancy.
Didn't hide behind Barry. She
I
ran
was
all the
thinking
way
you could
to
stay
the other
there
side.
for now. The landlady's a big friend.
I
of the
know.
house, so you wouldn't even have to
I
pay
was like,
rent.
the first time I
Sound
played,
good?
I was like, damn,
Sure
does she
does.
run like that every time
Thanks.
somebody walks into the bar? Like,
Follow me then.
she's that terrified of people?
How was it up on the plane?
Daddy said never to
It
talk to
was
Now look at this.
chaotic.
Tifa know what she is
Sorry for
doing.
dragging her
Okay,
into all
she's
this. It was wrong
she
of
is
me.
purposely walking in front of this man.
I promise I
And
won't
look at
do
her
it
little
again.
pigeon toe
Dangerous
walk.
part of
It
the
is the
job.
cutest thing
Don't worry
ever.
about me.
I had a video where I
Always happy to help stick it to
zoomed
Shimmer.
in on her feet. She has like this little pigeon toed walk. But yeah, all that hip moving,
So,
she
you
knows
make
what
nice
she
with
is
everyone?
doing. Okay.
Much as I could.
She
all
may
things
not do it for
considered.
everybody, but she
I know
knows.
enough for them.
She's like, I got Cloud here now.
You had me worried.
I'm pulling out all the
You're
stops.
not exactly a people person.
I'll give you that.
She still wants to show her cute side. Exactly. Like she. And I love how proud that Cloud. You know, a lot of men would be
Sector 8 on the
intimidated by
It was like
showing
a war
up, and
zone.
the woman
news
that
is
they
just
are
another Shimmer
into is so
mouthpiece.
independent and so.
I'll spread whatever
I mean,
lies
she's
Shimmer
a
tells
force
me
to
to.
be reckoned with. You watch
So,
her fight.
It wasn't
She,
that
I mean,
bad?
it's insane.
It
But
was.
when Cloud sees her skills on the
right.
battlefield, he isn't intimidated or mad. He's like proud of her. He's excited.
And here we
He's
are.
even giving her
Good old
little tips,
Stargazer
even though he
Heights.
knows she doesn't
You're
need
on
them.
the
But
second
you know,
floor.
she's eating it up because she's. I mean, these two idiots. Just get together already. See,
Room 201.
the
here is
action
where
should have
I
happened
sleep.
right here.
Don't have
This
time
would have
for
been a
much else
perfect
with
time.
Seventh heaven and all. Not even time to decorate.
Okay, if I were Tifa, I wouldn't have made it past this scene. I'd have been pregnant long before chapter 18 ever came. Okay,
Here's your room,
I'm just
202.
keeping it 100.
Don't worry.
I would have been
already told the
pregnant
landlady
this
about
night.
you.
Okay,
Yes?
they got some major
I mean,
self-control
I told her
because
I
it
had a
couldn't be
friend
me.
looking for a place to stay.
I'd been like,
Was
Cloud,
that too much?
yeah, unfortunately they didn't have any
Which one?
rooms available in town,
In
but
this?
you could sleep in my room.
That one's,
Oh my
it's
god.
getting late.
I
Why
will
don't you
not
go
be
see
reading
Tara?
that, but that's hilarious. About to break limit. Oh my god. Y'all are a mess. If I had to buy yes, absolutely. Exactly.
Could be
Like
enough to
if
get
you're
you through
going
the
to
night.
use there's
If you
nothing
want
wrong with
anything
using your
else,
feminine
we can
wiles.
always
First
do
off,
it.
there's
One
nothing
thing.
wrong with using them
My money.
any way you want to.
It
But
was only 2,000,
hell, if you
remember?
can't use them with the man you've been in love with
do.
all your life, who the hell
And
can you
we'd
use them
love to
with? I mean,
settle
this
up,
is the
especially
time.
since
You
this
know what I
was your
mean?
first
This,
job
this
for us.
is the moment. Shake
it?
those hips.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
We spent the rest preparing for the mission.
Well,
That
it's,
really
you
is
know,
it.
not to get into
But
the
not
salt.
for
I'm not
long.
going to do it
I'm
too much,
collecting
but
money for filters tomorrow.
other
so
than
I'll
her,
pay you
I mean,
after.
the thing is, it's just like,
And you're
it
sure
wouldn't
about
matter
that?
what the girl
course,
was wearing.
as long as you
Look
have
at her
it, that
body. I
is.
mean, she has an incredible body.
Then I'd
She
have
could
to
be
pay you
wearing
for
a
that,
burlap
too.
sack. She's still going to look
Never mind.
phenomenal. So
No,
this whole thing
2,000's
about
enough.
her stomach being
That's what
out,
we agreed on, so.
whatever.
That'll be the
You
price.
know, she's still
With what
pretty
you gave
modestly
me,
dressed. Her
at least
chest is
1,500.
completely covered up. She's got
You're
those
the
tights
best.
on. Let the haters hate.
I'll
You know
see
what
you
I'm saying?
bright and early
She's
at the
still
bar,
Cloud loving
Thanks
every
again
minute
for
of it. So
everything.
you know that's the only
tight.
opinion that matters. Marl would complain about not getting enough sleep. Oh yeah, Marl would complain about that. Marl would be the one with the broom hitting the ceiling. Keep it down up there. Oh, look at Cloud sleep. He's so sweet. Oh, I would love to. And you know, I've been thinking about that. Like maybe I should throw in a playthrough
time
of,
for
especially now that
introductions.
we have the 25th anniversary coming up, I think it'd be pretty cool if I could find the time to replay through, or maybe I'll do it January. Maybe I'll replay through Remake, and then once Remake is done, like we can go over to OG, and like we could just do that in January. Play a bunch of Final Fantasy VII games. Oh, CloTi babies! Yes, there would be several CloTi babies running through it. Well, what would my ship be called with Cloud? Whatever that would be called. That's what babies would be running around.
Hey, you okay in there?
Clondrea. Clondrea babies. Or Clygian babies. Clygian, that does not sound good. Let's go with Clondrea. I mean, neither one sounds good, but Clygian is something real bad about that. Oh, yeah, they definitely would. You know what's so funny about that? Because other people think that certain other characters look like other certain characters' babies. We all know what I'm talking about. But actually, they did model Denzel's parents to look similar to Cloud and Tifa.
Get back inside! Get off me!
What do you mean? The events of 7 is like a month, right? Oh, it's about 6 weeks. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yes, you're right. There would be CloTi babies in my stomach throughout the rest of the game.
What are you doing, Marco?
There'd be none.
This is his apartment.
None in there. None running around, but yeah.
The landlady asked me to check on him.
Yeah,
now
you're right.
to make sure he's okay.
Glad we got somebody here who knows
Sure.
how long it takes to have a baby. But yeah, so this stream is insane already. So what do y'all think? I want to get y'all's thoughts on the podcast tomorrow. I don't know if y'all had seen, and by the way, I've had some people follow me recently. I just want to say thank you to that. Adriel, I love her. She's on Twitter. We talk all the time. Lovely Bunny is actually going to be on the podcast with me. I stopped by her stream. She's actually a really fun streamer. She was playing Final Fantasy VIII. Love her commentary. She's going to be the Clarith tomorrow on the, well, the Clarith, that sounds, but, you know, we're having a shipping podcast tomorrow on Schrodinger's Baby Seals podcast. So definitely check that out. But yeah, she's also a really fun streamer. If y'all, you know, haven't been interested to check her stream out one day. I had a lot of fun earlier, and they were doing a charity on cancer, like a, you know, like a cancer charity. So that was pretty cool. And then Scoom Poof, Scoom Poof. I appreciate the follow as well. Yeah, by having children, Meza, that's good. I appreciate it. Now, look, I am curious what y'all think, though. As my Cloudies, as my fellow Cloudies, I did want to, because the dialogue on Twitter has been, whoo. I can see a lot of people are not excited about Jairus. Oh, thank you. Yes. And, see, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Had to get that Zach as well. Got my Cloud. And then, for anyone who didn't see, I got my Cloudy pillow. So yes, I am a little obsessed. Yeah, it was about 6 or 7 weeks. You can actually find a, you know, I just got the Ultimania. I realized where Final Fantasy Fandom got that timeline. There's one of the Ultimanias that give a timeline. So it gives actual dates.
No matter.
The game starts, I believe, like a week before Barrett's birthday and ends sometime in January.
Even Tifa.
So it's like six weeks ish. Because Air dies like a couple weeks before her. Like about a month before her birthday.
Good.
Woo woo! Cloudy merch. On the way to a smile fills the gaps of having a lot of the gaps of having children. You said Cloudy Mercy. I know what you meant though. All right. Sorry, I'm talking over the whole game. We'll get to some more cloudy clips here in a second. But yeah, I was curious what y'all are expecting to happen tomorrow. So he says that this is going to be more of a just discussing shipping. We'll get to speak our side. We'll talk about canonicity. We'll talk about what toxicity is in the fandom. I'm sure he'll give his perspective as a non-shipper. I'll give my perspective about non-shippers and multi. Well, I mean, not that I have a problem with multi per se, but I'll give my general outlook of shipping versus non-shipping versus, all that. I got a lot more to say about non-shippers, honestly, than anything. So, but
Morning.
Hey.
Just so you know, my name's Chelsea.
Midgar, I'm not doing this with you.
Let's get down to business, shall
You're
we?
not about to get me in trouble
These
the
water
day
filters
before.
won't replace themselves. Although the next
But
batch
I hear
probably
you.
could if Jesse.
Nah,
put her mind to
she's
it.
badass. I
Most
love
every home
her
in the
stream.
area
So
has one. Folks love them because they.
yeah, I can at least say for her, she plays the games.
Honestly, they make
For
us more
sure.
money than this place, and it's easy money too. We bring new filters, collect the
Look
old
at
ones,
Cloud's
and get
face.
paid.
He's like, seriously.
Give me a
Cloud's
break.
like the things I'll do to get laid. Like,
I'm
really?
not a salesman. I'm a soldier.
Which is
One
why
thing I'm
no
happy
one
about is
will
finding out
refuse to
Cloud
pay.
leaving AC is.
What do you say? Please.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Let's get this over with.
Oh yeah, you can ask me questions. That's
Great.
fine. Yeah,
And
y'all
while
feel
we're
free.
at
I
it,
mean,
I'll give
throw
you the grand
anything
tour.
at me, cause and also because I may need to be reminded of some stuff too, and I'd rather get out any mistakes in my head, or if y'all say something that I need to look up before tomorrow, I will do that. I'll do that as well. This podcast is actually supposed to be pretty lengthy. He said it could go up to 4 hours, so I mean, I got to be prepared for this. Whew. He said probably 2 hours, 2 to 4 hours is what we're looking at. Because his are pretty long. Whoop whoop. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've never done this before. But yeah, I agree. Rolling on the floor. It really was. AC was super unclear. And then ACC was a lot clearer. But On the Way to a Smile confirmed that he only left. And I think the dev interviews only confirmed that he only left after he got Jill's stigma. So that's a lot more reassuring. That was like a couple weeks. Whoop whoop. Appreciate it, Lion. Leon? Lion? I keep going back and forth with that. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. Is it Lion like the cat, or is it Leon like, Kingdom Hearts?
Go ahead and keep whatever we collect. Seeing as you didn't
Go
bring
ahead
any
and keep
luggage,
whatever we
I'm
collect.
guessing there's stuff you need to buy.
Thanks.
Oh, okay.
And don't worry, we'll pay you the difference after. Barrett's out
Look
making
at
his
Tifa's
too.
cute little run. Tifa is just adorable. Like, Tifa makes straight women gay. I'm over here like, I'm over here just gushing over her. Like, good God, I'm not even into women.
Straight from the place. No matter your needs, are you?
Hey there.
Oh, this is one of my favorite parts.
Tifa baby, how you doing?
Tifa baby.
Wait, let me see.
Cloud's in charge of collections. He'll take your money.
Sounds like a pretty sweet gig.
How did you find out
If you
about
ever need someone to
7?
fill in,
When did you
I'm your
play?
man.
What you think about the game,
your
Dan?
dreams,
First off, first time I saw 7, I hated it.
Cloud,
I hated the graphics. I hated everything about it.
since we're here, maybe we should do a little shopping.
Couldn't
Suppose
stand
I
it.
can take a look.
I watched my brother play it first. I thought the events of the game were interesting, but as far as I just couldn't stand looking at it. So when my brother wanted me to look how mad we call him Item Shop Sand now, because Tifa is into him. Tifa's in the bar Sand. That's an inside joke we have. Oh, is he really? Johnny Young Bosch, I've met him before. I went to an anime con and met him, and I have one of his albums. I'm just gonna buy something because I feel bad when I was being such a jerk to this guy.
Thanks.
But yes, so I played
If you're ever in the market for anything else,
I played
drop on by.
7, I believe in
Especially
2000,
if Tifa's
because
with you.
9 was already
We'll see you
out.
around,
9 was the
okay?
first one I played.
And let us know when your filter next
And
needs
then
changing.
once I got through playing 9, my brother forced me to play 7. And I actually really enjoyed the story. I thought the mental health themes were pretty fascinating. Now I was 12 at the time, so take it with a grain of salt. I wasn't as versed in it as I am now, but I always thought the storyline was really interesting. I loved the gameplay. I was obsessed with leveling up and doing all the chocobo side quest things. I enjoyed getting Knights of the Round, and I loved Knights of the Round. I never did beat the whole game, like the the ruby weapons and all that, but it was a great time. I beat Sephiroth the first time I tried at the end. I was really proud of myself for that. They never credited him, so it's speculation. Yeah, they don't, that's one thing. They don't never always credit the VAs, but, when you hear somebody so many times, sometimes it's easy to pick up who it is. I just haven't heard Johnny Unbosh in so long because I haven't watched the anime. Ooh, where am I going? I haven't watched the anime any with him in it very recently, so.
He's a
Did
regular.
you see that little supermodel?
Stuck up here, and he might throw in a freebie or two.
For you, maybe.
Well, you could try being.
Yeah, Seven was
To get free shit?
not.
Style.
I mean, Seven's never been my favorite.
Our next stop is.
Though I
Southeast
think
Heights.
Remake is going to change that. I think it will finally top
Just met her.
9.
Then you know what
By
to
the end of
expect.
Remake, it's going to top
Remember,
9.
She's a good friend of Avalanche, so be nice.
It's super
Please.
cool. Something you with love something. Oh. Okay, I'm assuming you're talking to Meza.
This isn't the first time.
What's gonna happen to Midgard?
Yes, she does.
Hey, Marl. Got some filters for ya.
Tifa, my dear, dear
Well,
girl.
Tifa,
Oh,
hey,
what's he
you look
doing?
like that. You get a lot of things.
Working?
Be nice. Cloud's helping me with collections.
I wonder if
better
that's
take
maybe what
care of
happened.
I'm
Part
pretty
of
good
what
at
happened
taking care of
between her and
myself,
Jesse,
you know.
because it's clear some
That
sort
I
of
do.
rift happened between her and
Still,
Jesse.
better him than
Between
you.
Trace of Two
No
Paths
charm,
and now.
no wit,
I'm
big
guessing it's
sword,
Avalanche, but
no
also,
skills.
as I've said,
I've got skills.
it'd be kind of hard to
Be
be Tifa's
nice.
friend. Be a girl and be Tifa's friend, and every
doing
time
my
she walks in the
best.
room, she's getting
You're
all the
looking
attention.
awfully glum.
That'd be pretty
Are you
difficult.
getting enough sleep?
So
good
I
long
wonder
rest
if they.
cure
I hope they
everything
add a
for
little
you.
more detail
A
as to
tried and
what
true
happened
lesson for life
between
on the ground
Tifa and
floor.
Jesse
Am I right?
at some point. But
That you won't.
yeah, I understand a little French. I mean, like it's
Thanks,
been
Marl.
over 10
You take
years.
care of yourself.
Okay.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
So don't throw too many words at me.
Marl's great. She helped get me set up for a
because
good
she
day.
says be nice. I mean, she says it in the cutest way possible. I don't know why anybody would take it as bullying.
But never mind that. We've got to get you your money. Last stop is
And
weapons store.
look how I know it's the animation of the characters, but like Cloud is so attentive to everything that Tifa says. There's never a moment where he's like, "Huh? What did you say?" Or
Hey, that last filter didn't do shit.
oh god,
We're so
I just love
sorry
Cloudy.
about that. Hopefully this one will work better.
Yeah, it's just
Save your
banter. They
excuses
are
and get
insane.
out.
Alright.
What they said later
If you
in
could
it,
just settle your bill,
later in this
we'll be on
chapter
our way.
is
The hell?
she
You
asked him
charging
to
me for
leave,
your
technically, I
busted-ass
guess.
goods?
I'm
Well,
so
Barrett
sick of
asked him
those
to leave,
payment
and she
disputes.
said, don't take
Think you can
offense, but I
mosey
need to
up
spend
in
time
here
with my
and have it your
team.
way?
And then her next
Pretty
line is, I
please.
promise we'll spend more time later. She's been with him all day. Like, what? The girl has a life. What do you
Seeing
expect?
as we're done with our rounds and you've got a small fortune
Like, he's a
now,
grown man. He can spend an hour by himself. He'll live.
Well,
Yes,
there
we
to
love
with the
cute
rest.
Cloud and Tifa. Hey, Peach.
before we
What's
open
up?
tonight. It'll be a
Yes,
while
we were
yet,
talking about
so
how amazing Cloudy is.
What
I'm
are
going to
you
be on a
doing?
podcast tomorrow, so
really know.
in that
we're
case,
just talking
I've
about
got a
we're
suggestion.
just talking about Cloudy.
Want to hear it? If you're serious
I'm getting all my
about becoming
feels
a
out
merc,
about Cloudy.
then you're going to need to start making connections. It's not what you know, but who you know,
Another
It's not what you know, but who you know, I just love that
Yep.
he repeats the
Connections get
things
you
that she
jobs.
says to him,
Jobs build your
even
rep.
much later
And
in the
more
game,
rep
or
gets you
like
better connections.
or he references
start?
these little lessons that
Why
she's
not
giving
help out the
him,
neighborhood
like in
watch?
chapter
They're
10.
mostly
She
volunteers,
says
but you'll
something
get to know
about
people.
if you're lost, follow the stench, and he's like,
Didn't
"Is that
see
another
anybody
one
at
of
the
those
office,
lessons?"
so
I was
let's
like,
head up
"Oh my
top.
god, they are so adorable."
No better way to keep you and your family safe than with a weapon of your own.
I started shipping Cloudy about this time last year is when I beat the game, and even though I had it the day of, don't ask. I'm a weird gamer. I have to do one thing at a time, and I had a list of games I was going through because I knew that at the moment I really put any attention into Remake, that God of War and the other games I was playing was gonna go right out the window.
Didn't know you were holding
But anyway,
that
I beat it around this time of year.
Hey, Cloud.
Platinum
Looking
did.
to join the neighborhood watch?
And yeah, I got really obsessed with Cloud and
What does this
Tifa.
neighborhood watch do?
Before that,
really.
I always knew, like
Top
from
priority is taking care
7,
of any beasts that wander into town.
I don't know any other way to put it.
Teaching
So
the
I
locals how to defend
okay, I'm gonna
themselves.
find a more
They say
diplomatic way to put
The only
this.
one who will look out for
I
you
never
is
cared when I was
Cloud's a great
younger because I was
fighter, but
12
only we
and I
know
just
that.
didn't care.
If no one knows him, no
But
one
I
will hire
knew
him.
that
If he joined
Clouti
the
was
watch, he
in
could get
game
his name
because
out there.
That
she
would
was the
work
one
for
that was there.
everybody.
Let me put it that way.
We could really use your help.
And then after
can't
seeing
pay
the
you
live
to
stream,
jail,
seeing the highway scene,
but
it was
we're coming
obvious.
out.
I mean, even then that they had sex.
For
And the way that they were acting
example,
towards each other, and I mean, it was clear that they were headed in that direction. I didn't think they were together at the time, but I knew that's where the relationship was going.
I know
Having
I've never passed
children,
a chance to improve my gear.
just confirmed what I already thought.
Come on.
Though I still
At least
wasn't
let me
sure
show
with
you how
having
it's done.
children. It's still such a choppy movie. It was hard to tell what was going on with them. I knew that they had feelings for each other and that they were either in a relationship or on the way to a relationship, but it was still hard to tell. But having children complete, and then Trace of Two Paths obviously filled in the rest. Hey Axel, appreciate the follow.
Everyone who listen about the new merc in
Even though
town.
you broke my 113, but
Between
that's
him and
okay.
Wedge,
I'm
there
kidding. I'm
isn't
kidding.
Anyone they don't know.
I'll march through
I
the
do love the
streets
number
singing
13,
your
but I'd
praises,
much have the
even on
number,
an empty
much rather
stomach.
have the number 114.
Where are these markets?
So yeah, but as officially shipping
Hey, Cloud,
Cloudy
I'll come with,
probably happened.
I've got this.
but
I feel like I was
Way,
shipping them
do you?
before Remake came out, but it went into overdrive after Remake.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I mean it
I know
just
these streets better than anyone.
something about this game. I mean, I'm really big on like when you have the whole experience with the body language is so stellar in this game. You just see their body language, the way they always are standing so close to each other, the sexual tension between them, and then that along with just their really cute banter and intimate and romantic dialogue that they have with one another. All of it together, oh man, it whoo, set my loins ablaze.
Scrap Boulevard is out west.
All right, I'm
The
going to
barricade's
assume that we are
supposed to
headed
keep
out
the
to
monsters out.
Scrap
Anyway,
Boulevard.
we should prepare just in case.
It's the little noises that worry.
Do you think they've been pretty clear? Here's the problem. The reason, and I think it's obvious that they are romantically involved, but it's not clear if they're officially involved from having children. I say that because, unfortunately, the nature of a movie is that you have to have some sort of strife going on through the movie. And Cloud was having a lot of internal things happening, but then you have to have the internal battle, you have to have the external battle. The external battle was the trio, it was Sephiroth, everything going on with that Jill stigma. Then you had his internal battle, but because you don't have the context of what was going on in the 2 years before that, it does look like he's more like his biggest problem is that he let Aerith die, and then of course with Zack as well. So it really just isn't as clear as I would prefer it to be. Now, I still don't think that gives people an excuse to then say it's a platonic relationship, only because now that we have On the Way to a Smile, they didn't write the book because they were bored or they had nothing better to do. They wrote it to clear up the misconceptions that were going on, and it was already in progress, by the way, when they made that movie, because in it's not behind me anymore, but I have the deluxe version that came out, I believe, in 2006, and it has Barrett's case in it, so it's clear that they were already in a relationship. It just isn't clear in the movie. So while I understand that people can use that as an excuse, it really isn't an excuse, because if the developers tell you what's going on by writing a whole book, writing 2 books, in fact, and all the interviews, and tell you that originally it was going to be a CloTi short. It was just going to be about Cloud, Tifa, and those kids. I mean, this is not hard to put together. Wait, where are you going? Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm I'm talking. I was running the complete opposite way. Yeah, I was going the whole opposite way.
And there's our first
I like this
challenger.
dialogue here, especially what I was talking about earlier when Cloud realizes that, like, oh shit, Tifa's a badass. I think Tifa, I think Cloud really enjoys like having a badass girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's
Wow. So that's
yeah,
what
my
a
girlfriend
soldier
could kick
looks like in
ass if she
action.
wanted to.
This was just a warm-up.
I'm sure Cloud would let her kick his ass if she wanted to. He is such a simp for her.
All right.
Yeah, my responses will be clearer tomorrow, Ziana, just because I won't be trying to play and read all this, and you know what I mean. So
Steady.
I'll be more concise and less all over the place tomorrow. But I appreciate you asking some questions for sure. Now, what I expect to come up in response, of course, is yes. Love a girl who kick my ass. I feel like Cloud would feel that way. I think about the way that he,
That's that.
well, you know, I'm still trying to figure out his thing with Eric, only because throughout chapter 8, I mean, it's obvious that Eric can fight. She's an extremely powerful character, but he never acknowledges it. But with Tifa, he's always like, "Oh, keep those gloves up, and you can do this." You know, he's like, "Who rah rah."
It's a little surprising.
Like there's a
Well, I've been
respect
here
for
5
her
years now.
abilities
You don't
there
look
that
out
I
for
don't see
yourself,
with other
no one else
characters.
will. By the way, that one's gonna be on the test.
This's
Oh,
lesson.
sorry, no, I didn't.
Gotta learn
I think
if
enjoys
you're
having
gonna
someone.
stick around.
Sorry, Mary, can you repeat that?
Let's wrap this up.
What did you ask? Yeah, he enjoys having an equal. I completely agree. Like, Tifa is his equal in every way. I still think he enjoys, because everyone needs saving sometime. Even Cloud, you know? And I think he enjoys being able to do that for her when it's required. But, okay. Gotcha.
Anytime now.
Oh, I forgot. Okay.
Here we go.
They have new tutorials in here because of intermission. But I think he enjoys being able to be that person for her when she needs
Alright.
it. But he doesn't
I think that might be
assume
the
she
last of
needs it.
them.
Won't stay
Reposting
gone
this.
for
Okay.
long.
Why is there so much
Of
success in the
course
shipping
not.
community?
Even so, folks will be
supposed-
grateful for the peace and quiet in the meantime.
Why
A
can't
win's a win,
everyone ship
you know?
whoever they want to? We all
True.
have our preferences. Okay.
Trust me, it'll do wonders for your rep. Right.
Let me let
Let's
Tifa
go check
talk.
in with Biggs and Wedge.
Alright. Why is there so much toxicity in the shipping community? I would say, well, let me first start with why who Cloud loves mattering. And I think that will lead into where the toxicity is coming from. Cloud is the main character of the game. What I find interesting is why people don't think that it matters. If you're wanting to understand the story as a whole, a large part of it is understanding the main character of the game. If you have a main character who seems to not have any real purpose or any real motivation in life, that is not a compelling story. So people want to understand the person that they're playing as. We spend more time with Cloud than anybody in this game. You know, if this game is about 25 hours, spend 25 hours with this character, getting to know him. And if you want to understand him, you have to understand what drives
Got
him.
new numbers for monster slaying this
Part
month.
of what
Check it
drives
out.
him, which is, the fact that SE even bothers to bring up the romantic aspect of it, means that they know that it's important as well. Now, as Cloudies, we understand that the reason it's important is because every major decision Cloud has ever made in his life is directly involved with Tifa. including this whole persona he's made up. Whether it's, I mean, I think it's partially him, partially Genova that created this soldier persona in him. But the point is, even Genova, who has no feeling whatsoever, knew that this, you know, like this mattered to him because it's what he's always wanted, which was to impress Tifa. So when he lays eyes on Tifa in that train station, his mind builds up this persona because he's always wanted to be that hero that Tifa needed. He's felt guilty ever since she almost died falling off that cliff. And I think the reason he decided to join the army in large part was because he wanted to let her know he could always protect her. And always wanted to know himself that he could. So a lot of Cloud's, though there's a lot happening in the game, if you're talking about what drives Cloud's strife, it is his feelings for Tifa. That is a very large part of it. He didn't have any friends other than Zack before this. You know what I mean? So until this game happened, there was nothing else for Cloud. He has nothing else but Tifa. So when you talk about why the toxicity exists, the toxicity exists because if you like Tifa, then you accept that and you move on. If you don't want him with Tifa or you prefer another character, that is a hard hurdle to come over, and especially when you're having to play the same game as I am. As a CloTi, I'm very excited to play this game. As someone who might not be a CloTi, this game would annoy me. You know what I mean? There's a lot of elements of this game that would bother me, and so
We've been through a lot.
you have. I mean, to me, you have to almost like you have to either what Doki Doki Code does, and I'm not saying all this on the thing tomorrow. Well, Doki Doki Code does, so they just completely fabricate things so that they could justify why Cloud is clearly how Cloud is not in love with he's clearly in love with. For regular shippers who are into other stuff, the toxicity comes in really when you're talking about canon too. It's not just about can anybody like whatever ship they like. Sure, people like all kinds of things. Sakura, Sephiroth, Reddy, all that. But when you start arguing canon and trying to justify why you believe your ship is correct as opposed to just something that you prefer, that's where the problem comes in. And then of course when you're talking about when you're trying to tell someone, I mean, there is a right answer. So when you start talking about who's right and wrong, then people's feelings get involved, and that's when stuff blows up.
Oh, he should be back at the office by now.
Yeah, I would be more concise with it tomorrow, but like I said, I'm just getting all my rambling out with y'all. It's gonna be a lot more concise, but I like that you posed this question because it helps me organize my thoughts. I've just got to be. I mean, we've got probably 2 to 4 hours, like I said, so I don't have to be super short with time. But I also want people to understand the point that I'm making. You know what I mean? So I've got to get a little less wordy with it. But that's generally what I'm getting at when I say the toxicity is just inevitable, because if you're wrong and you want to be right, well, there's nothing I can do about that, you know. And if you come at me with things that aren't true or things that are your conception, you know, your perception of something versus what is verifiable in the game and in the materials that we have, you're gonna feel like I'm calling you a liar. But I mean, it's not. I mean, I understand that's your perspective, but it's just wrong. I don't know what else to say about it. You know, it's not meant to be rude, but that's the only way it's gonna come across. Oh, okay. I'm rereading. Let's see. I forgot the proper literary term, but CloTi complement each other as characters. Yes, they do. And it's complement, COMPLEMENT, I believe, in the case that you're talking about, Happy. Compliment, like, you know, Cloud complimented Tifa when he called her beautiful. Compliment means you each side works well together. So I don't know exactly, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. I tried Googling the proper term. These foil characters, cool. Put them together and they highlight each other. Exactly, that's what complimenting is. Exactly, complimenting with an E. I like that. Smokes, hey, what's up, Elliot? I feel like that's going to be the question of contention. Yes, everyone's going to lose their mind. Oh, everybody's going. Yeah, everybody. You know, I realize. I think it'll be fine overall, just because I like to think I have a fun personality, and I know I can get a little bitchy sometimes on Twitter, but when I'm talking to somebody, you know, I keep a smile on my face. I'm hoping that they won't take it. Some of the words I'm going to use may seem harsh, and I'm hoping they don't take it that way. Because I really don't mean to be, you know, I'm not a dream killer. I don't like killing dreams. I used to ship Mireille Trunks and Pan in an alternate universe. I mean, it made no sense whatsoever. You know, so I'm really not trying to be a dream crusher. Like what you like, but if you're going to argue facts of a game to me, there's no other way for me to get around telling you the truth. I mean, just telling you you're wrong. I mean, that's just, it is what it is.
Gotta stay focused.
And you cannot agree with me calling you wrong, but I mean, and then we just agree to disagree.
You need a helping hand?
What do you think about Clara?
I wanted to
what is their
introduce you
relationship
to an old
according to you?
friend of mine. This is Cloud.
Clarith, you know, a year ago, if you'd asked me about
We're
Clarith,
always on the lookout
I
for
would have had no
experienced
opinion.
fighters to help us
Honestly,
deal
I
with the
didn't know.
bigger
I mean,
critters.
it'd been like,
I'll take
I
on
would have
anything
said
for the
it's
right
not
price,
canon,
that is.
and that's about it.
Experienced and cocky, huh?
Didn't care.
It's a challenge
I
you
actually
want, I might have a few
expected
good
them
ones.
to be very
Your clients
neutral
can fill you in on the details.
at the beginning
Prove
of
yourself at these
before I
jobs, and I'll
played
see if I
Remake. I
can't
expected
find you
them to
some
be
more.
pretty neutral about
Thanks.
it. They would either go full force on, you know, maybe one, maybe the other. They'd still have all the optional dialogue and all of that, or they'd just be completely neutral about it until after Eric died. What I got was entirely different. And as I got into the fandom, the Twitter fandom is actually what helped shape my perspective on this, because for the first time in my life, I actually had to think about Clarith. I had never even thought about it, because to me, once she died, like, what are we arguing about? I still feel that way. What are we arguing about? At best, he might have had a, you know, and this is what I'm talking about before, how I felt. At best, there might have been something blossoming. But once one girl is gone and he's clearly in love with the other one anyway, I'm done with it. So I never thought about it. Now, my opinion of Clarith at this moment is,
Until they get
I hear you sell swords.
I think it is, and that this is not into, and because I've had some Xeraths approach me and say they don't really want this debate to be about Xerath, so I'm not getting into Xerath. But I do have to bring up Zack in this moment. I think Zack's presence just overshadows that entire. Let me figure out where I'm going. Zack's presence just shadows that entire relationship for me. It's hard for me to get invested in it outside of fan art, you know, which I like a lot of the fan art. I think it's really cute. A lot of it that I like could just as easily be two friends, honestly. But it's hard for me to get invested in it simply because I'm thinking of the fact that, one, Cloud is severely mentally ill right now. And the fact that he's confused himself with the guy that Eric used to be in love with, that is such muddy water that you're dealing with. Oh, let me go get Betty. Okay. Where are you, Betty? It's such muddy water that you're already dealing with for the fact that he isn't even himself right now. Then you add on the fact that he has confused himself literally with the other, with the woman, with the dead boyfriend of the woman who was pursuing him. And the fact that Aerith is initially attracted to Cloud in the first place because he reminds her of her dead boyfriend. I mean, it's just so, it's not a, it's fraught with drama, and it's not a good drama. It's sad, you know, and I don't know that in a real relationship you could really get over that much water under the bridge. There's too much happening there. To me, Cloud, if they, let's say Aerith lived and somehow they ended up getting together, I'm thinking Cloud in the back of his mind would be like, were you ever really attracted to me, or were you just attracted to me because of Zack?
Maybe not so
and then
next time.
Also, would she even like the real Cloud? Aerith is rambunctious, she's spunky, she's outgoing.
So what do you want to do? back to the bar?
Which she, you know, and Cloud is quiet, reserved. He doesn't like a lot of people. He doesn't, you know, Aerith is just finally getting out there, finally getting to see the world. Cloud seems perfectly content to just ride a bike all day and come home to his family. I just feel like what they want out of life is entirely different as well. So while I think that the relationship is, while I think that they are good friends, I think he loves her in the sense that I think he loves everyone that he's been on this journey with. You go to save the world with people. You get attached. You form a genuine bond with people. But I don't see any romantic, I don't see short-term romantic potential. I don't see long-term romantic potential. I especially don't see short-term just because if you're Cloud and you've been in love with somebody for this long, do you really just get over those feelings? Especially when you've just been reunited with them, just because a beautiful woman walked by and you knew her for a couple of weeks, you have just all your feelings for her have just vanished. So I don't even see how it's feasible that Cloud would have ever fallen in love with Aerith, let alone all of the personality clashes that I see.
Here.
I've gone all over the place with this answer. I'm gonna have to get that down.
Okay, let me tell you. They have long arms and legs.
I have so many reasons why I don't ship Clarith. It's hard to even pinpoint. I guess I need to think of like the top 3.
And they're all cats.
Mostly, let me say this. Mostly, I see personality clashes. I see too much. Zach just muddies too much of it for me to take it as a genuine attraction to one another versus whatever's going on in Cloud's head and Aerith's leftover feelings for Zach. And then the fact that even in their interactions, whether you're talking about OG or you're talking about Remake, most of the interactions between them are one-sided. You know, it's Aerith emoting on the Cloud. It's Aerith grabbing Cloud's hand. It's Aerith telling Cloud she wants to go on this date. It's Aerith doing this. It's Aerith doing that. If you take out all the optional dialogue in OG, what's left? You know, there's a couple of questionable lines from Cloud, like at Cosmo Canyon when he says, we are here for you. But other than a couple of lines, there just is there's no there for me. And I'll add one more. The last thing I'll say is, for a genuine romance to take place, and this is just a general comment, it'd be one thing if Cloud and Aerith spent 3 weeks making love on the beach or in a cabin or somewhere, like in a full-blown romance, getting to know each other every day and all that. But they're in a group of 9 people. They're chasing down Sephiroth. They're constantly fighting battles, fighting monsters. Aerith's dealing with her Cetra thing. All the characters have something going on. There's so much going on. There's no time for a relationship to even form. Outside of chapter 8, they don't even have any alone time anymore. You know what I mean? So when is this relationship supposed to actually take place? And that's another problem. So those would be the top 4. Those would be the top 4. Yeah, and I'm gonna make some notes before tomorrow too. This is exactly why I wanted to have this discussion, so I could get all my thoughts out and kind of retcon my own thoughts as they happen. Okay, I'm gonna make some headway because it is 10. I'm not necessarily needing to leave at any point, but I would like to see our cloudy moments. So let me. But yeah, you can keep asking me questions, and anybody else or whatever you want to talk about.
I'm guessing you're that merc I've heard some people were
I'm
right.
just going
to can't have that. My regular.
I'll handle
get through these
Head on over to
so we can see Alone at Last, and we can see Beautiful. Boop boop.
Solid gold.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of thinking as I'm talking because, as I said, I'm really not trying to insult anybody when I talk about this stuff. I have been on the wrong end of the shipping war. I get it. And it sucks being on the wrong side of one.
In that case, them and their wit got into the
But the
store
truth is the
and
truth.
one hell of a mess.
You know what I mean? Like, the truth is the truth.
Oh, well, dude, now I've heard. And the whole rat pack will come running just like that.
And there would be little to no contention at all in this fandom, I think, if people would just acknowledge the story that's going on and move on. Why do you have to be right? You know? No, she is, but the difference is there's two main differences there. The first is
Gotta win it all.
while they were not close, they have known each other their whole lives, and he has had feelings for her his entire life. So unlike with a new relationship where you're getting to know the person, you have to see those things about them that you know, you like, what you don't like, things like that. Cloud knows a lot about Tifa already. It may have been from afar, but he has been in her life the entire time. You can see just by the way that they interact in Chapter 3 that they are very familiar with each other in a sense, even if in a lot of those years they weren't actively close. But you can tell by the way she talks about him in Tracer 2 Pass that he was always present in her mind. And Cloud clearly, because in Tracer 2 Pass it shows that he was constantly like chasing her cat around for her. The fact that he almost died trying to save her. The fact that he 5 years later, if you're that distance from somebody, why would you ask them on a romantic date and tell them your dreams under the stars? I mean, that's not something that two people who are completely unfamiliar with each other would do. The fact that she even said yes to the date tells you that there was always something there. It was just more of an unrequited love because they had no idea that the other were attracted to them. So that's the first thing. They have an actual body of experiences to build on and feelings to build on. The second being that I feel like the only feelings you can really trust at this point are the ones that precede Cloud's trauma. I'm not saying that because, you know, Cloud gets to know and love Barrett, Sid, all of the others. I'm not saying that his feelings are completely invalidated. But between the fact that his mind is screwed up and specifically who he's confused himself with and who the other woman is to that person, I just feel like you can't really trust any feelings that would happen between them. And I think that's exactly what Aerith said in Chapter 14. You know, the thing about Chapter 14 is Aerith had that revelation in Gold Saucer, but she had it much earlier in Remake. But she essentially told him the same thing, like, you're not yourself. And, you know, like, if whatever feelings you think you have. I mean, she said exactly what I said. I mean, Aerith said it for me. You know what I mean? Whatever he thinks he's feeling is not real. Like, you know, now if once he got back into his right mind and realized that he had been in love with Tifa this whole time and all that, if he still wanted to pursue Aerith, then that would be another thing. But right now, you just can't trust anything that's going on with him. I hope that answers your question. Alright, item shop dude. I'm not buying any more from you.
Thanks to the awesome new
Aerith has already shut this whole thing down, frankly. You know, and I think, and the more I think about it, I think they might have made the right call ultimately, because what it's going to take, well, not what it's going to take, but the fact that Aerith is actively rejecting his feelings, any potential feelings he would have, I think is pretty powerful. Now, whether she sticks to that is another thing, but I like that. I like the fact that she's shutting it down. It's not Cloud, and I think it'll come off better because, especially the fact that Aerith dies. I don't think that they would want to have Cloud, you know, outright reject her and then Aerith dies tragically. It would seem cruel to me. It would seem cruel to me, even if it would be better for my ship. I don't think I'd like it if Cloud was just like, I'm never gonna love you, get out of here or whatever. I wouldn't like that. I just don't think it's worth. I just don't think it's I don't think it's necessary. So I like that they're having Aerith actively rejecting him, and she's sort of shipping CloTi herself, you know what I mean, with the flower. She smiled when she saw the flower. Because Aerith ain't nobody's dummy. Aerith is nobody's dummy. She knows exactly what's going on. Alright, sorry. Another question. Why the focus on Tifa and Aerith? What about Jesse? There needs to be more. Sorry, I'm not going to laugh tomorrow when I see this. Okay. I'll give you... okay. Let me... Whew. Alright. I appreciate the question. For my serious answer to this... For my serious answer to this. The reason CloTi does not get any attention is because it has never been a thing. From OG to now. It's never been discussed. There's like one, maybe two lines in OG where Jesse is, where Jesse sort of alludes to her maybe having feelings for Cloud. But as far as, like, my thing is, this game has been around for 25 years. What are the chances that they have been building up these romances, CloTi and Xerath, all this time? You've had this other one lying around that every once in a while they'll acknowledge something about, but they've never brought up Cloud and Jesse. And then 25 years later, they're going to suddenly retcon the entire game to add a completely new romance. I'm not going to say this tomorrow, but it's laughable. It's just not going to happen.
Don't you just love
it would be one of the weirdest, worst decisions ever made in a game. Would make absolutely no sense. They might as well have just thrown a third, an entirely new character at Cloud in that case. I mean, which is essentially, they've retconned Jesse a lot. I think more for the purposes of Tifa, not Cloud. I think they did it to give, to flesh out Tifa's relationship with her and Tracer 2 Pass. Also, they're setting up,
you know how Johnny gets.
you know, with the gold saucer thing, they're setting up Tifa possibly being the princess by canon, things like that. But yeah, there's no valid reason to believe that.
He doesn't really know.
Not only no valid reason to believe she's even alive, and certainly no valid reason to believe that they are going to retcon the main romance of this game that they've been building up for 25 years for a character who didn't live past 3 hours in the original game.
It's the least I can do. Lead on.
And let's say she does live.
Go to jail.
Cloud has shown no romantic interest in Jesse whatsoever. The closest you can even get is when he goes to her house that night, and at best he says, "I'll think about it." I don't even think he was gonna go, but you know, what are the chances he was gonna go? Really, I think he was just trying to get her off his back. The line he says to her right before that is, "Are you really that desperate?" I mean, does that sound like somebody who, you know, a woman who you're supposedly interested in is throwing herself at you, and your line to her is, "Are you that desperate?" and you're trying to peel her off of you? So whatever he said to her, he was just trying to get her off of him. I mean, that's... And then what people will bring up later is, oh, well, what about he carried her. This bridal carry thing, I don't... Like, Cloud is a chivalrous guy. You know, he grew up with a single mother. He probably helped her out a lot. He has a lot of respect for women. I know he has some snipey comments to them sometimes, but if you look at Cloud's actions, he is very chivalrous with women. So if Jesse's hurt, and he's just not an asshole, so if Jesse's hurt, he's going to help her up. He's going to carry her. If she's dying, I don't think him holding her hand as she dies is romantic. I just think he's being a decent human being. The girl is dying. I don't see any potential. I don't see any romantic potential there. Get her off. What did I say? Oh, get her off him. Get her off him is what I said. Happy, you are hilarious. Why do people ship Cloud with already dead characters? Y'all look crazy. I don't know. I don't. I mean, just a side note, I don't know why you'd even set yourself up for that. These people who think that any of these characters that died are going to live this time, I mean, God bless you. I would love for Zach to live. I would love for Zach and Eric to run off into the sunset together.
Let him go.
It ain't going to happen. I'm sorry. That's my personal opinion, and I think based on everything we've seen so far, I don't see any reason why it changed.
Oh, hell yeah! You guys really gave
I can tell you this, I think Jesse is DEAD already.
How you think you're doing?
Here we go.
They even did an interview. Oh, I love that pose with CloTi. They even did an interview recently where they were talking, like, when that part came up as to whether or not Jesse might be alive. I believe they even mentioned something about loss as a big theme of the game, but that's a curious decision to. That's a curious line to say if she's not dead. We'll use Tifa's limit break.
Here we go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he held Tifa out the roof. Incapacitated her. Yeah, but no, but Cloud actually held her. There's a difference. See, even similar things. Like somebody being injured and you pick them. How else are you supposed to pick a person up other than with their back and under their legs? That's how he picks up Aerith. That's how he catches Aerith, and that's how he picks up Jesse. With Tifa, she was already on the ground. She didn't need being picked. She's screaming, "Oh, Cloud," you know. And he goes over there and cradles her between his legs. That is entirely different. And not only does he do it, he sits there with her. Bear's trying to stop the timer. Things are blowing up behind him and everything. And he's just sitting there in each other's arms, just dead to the world. Okay, that is completely different. And Tifa wasn't even really injured. That girl got up 5 minutes later, was running at full speed. She was fine. I used to crack up so bad at that. Oh yeah, he held Tifa. Yeah. What is the definition of canon for you? Canon for me, the first thing would be mutual love. And I love how I almost, speaking of love, I almost left just, I was like, where the hell did that Johnny thing happen?
What now?
Okay,
He's a talker.
canon for me is when two characters are confirmed to have romantic interest in each other, love specifically, and then particularly if they move on to have a relationship. Now, when I say confirmed, I don't mean explicit confirmation, such as,
it's a big
you know,
risk.
we need a, first off,
I know, but
okay, I'm not going to get into
fine.
that. I don't need explicit confirmation such as a sex scene on camera, a kiss on camera for something to be canon.
No more.
For instance, we never get into that with
Cloud.
Sharon and Sid in the
You're
OG,
scaring me.
but we knew that they were, you know, that's what was going to happen. You know what I mean? There are a lot of couples that you don't see necessarily what's going to, you don't literally see it on camera, but you know that that's what's up or that's where it's going. I think the fact that he confesses his feelings for her in the live stream. She confesses hers.
I'm worried about
meaning, you know, she's saying all that romance, you know, as long as I have you by my side. The words that she's using are all romantic context that anybody, including Cloud's dumb self, can pick up on.
Really
as long as I have you by my side, nothing else matters. All these things that they're saying to each other. And then they have sex. And I know that people are going to, you know, if you choose to believe they spent all night playing canasta, that's you. I'm going to use my common sense.
Soldier.
Because I know what faded, a line that like Tifa says, and then they fade to black. Everybody knows what that means, okay?
Do you want to tackle another job or two?
And then after OG, they move in together. They build a house together. They move in together. Start raising kids. Like, they're making relationship moves. I don't need Nojima to come out and tell me, even though he has, to come out and say Cloud and Tifa are having sex, Cloud and Tifa are in love. I don't need him to explicitly say that to me for me to know what's happening. Okay, I'm a grown-ass woman. All right? So, when it'd be one thing if they just had a passing kiss and nothing else ever happened, and OG, they're living after OG, they're living apart. There's nothing happening there. One of them has moved on with somebody else. That would tell me that it was just a fleeting moment and nothing going on. But when two people have their romantic history, the fact that they both been infatuated with each other, we do have confirmation that Tifa's in love with Cloud, like explicit confirmation that she's in love with Cloud. They then move in and start living like a married couple. You know, to me, that's canon. I don't know what else people need. You know, and I also go with what's plausible. What is more plausible? That Cloud and Tifa have had all these feelings for each other all these years, but then decide to live a completely platonic life, totally cockblock themselves from ever having another relationship. Because if I go to my man's house, my supposed man's house, and I see Tifa Lockhart open the door, and he says, "Oh, well, this is just my childhood friend who I made this promise to I would always protect, and we saved the world together, and now we're raising these two kids, but nothing's going on." Who's gonna believe that? So they have completely blocked off all access to any other relationship by permanently attaching their lives to each other. Oh, so what is more plausible? That they have done all this, but there is nothing going on between them, or they're in a relationship. Play planet cake, absolutely. So common sense, and I know this is gonna sound insulting, but common sense does have to play a factor into this. You know, they expect the developers expect people to be able to put two and two together. Now, I realize that they have been dodgy. They go back and forth with being dodgy about it. And it's not always clear in the way that they you know, like the fact that they constantly use the words childhood friend to describe them in certain Ultimanias and stuff like that. Certain parts of certain Ultimanias.
Factory's off limits.
Well, you're talking
Drinks have
about
been spotted
how they
inside.
met. You're not talking about what their current relationship status is. So the fact that they don't just say, "Hey,
Don't tell me
Tifa
you're
and
here
Cloud
to
are
take care of
friends
those
now,"
things.
tells
Are
you
you?
that there's so. But
In
there's
that
so
case,
many
be
clues.
my
You
guest.
can come to your own
We believe there's
conclusion,
at least
and
two
they've
groups lurking somewhere inside the
confirmed
factory.
several
Find and
times that
call
they
them
have
all.
feelings for each other. So yeah, when I say canon, I think what is reasonable to believe, okay, verifiable by the events of the game, you know, and any materials related to the game. And I think CloTi is canon in that sense. There has never been any confirmation of Cloud having romantic feelings for Aerith at all, and there are no events in the game that remotely confirm him having romantic feelings for Aerith, let alone love feelings.
Piece of cake.
Because just being attracted to somebody is not canon of anything. I mean, I'm attracted to all these people. I ain't even. I mean, I'm straight. I'm attracted to Tifa. What does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean anything.
Come on. Steady.
You know, Cloud isn't blind.
See ya.
Okay. The man's got two eyes. He can see Aerith is gorgeous. That is not confirmation of anything. Nor is, what else isn't confirmation is a what if, and what else isn't confirmation is ambiguity. Okay, because like CloTi, you know, not having explicit confirmation of CloTi the way you want it to be explicit does not mean automatically that the other is possible or plausible. Okay, the other thing is, what ifs. We can't prove or disprove what ifs, so they're meaningless. What if Aerith had lived? What if this? What if this? It doesn't. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a moot point because Claris can't confirm what would happen, and Claudius can't confirm what happened. So we can't use that as evidence of anything. You know, we can speculate what would happen if I had $1 million today. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter because I don't. Nothing. You know. So I can't. If you're gonna live in that realm, that's what fan fiction is for. If we're talking about canon, that plays no role here. Why can't it be plausible that Barrett and Tifa be together? She practically helped raise Marlene all her life. Won't you? Yes, I am very gay for Tifa. Did I do what I was supposed to do in here? No. Okay. Well, the language on that was not exactly what people were saying, because I remember saying that. If it comes up, I'll address it directly, but I would want the quote. I wouldn't want to speculate on my vague memory of the quotes. Now, as far as Barrett and Tifa, I see Barrett and Tifa this way. Yeah, because this comes up sometimes, like, well, they live together, and why wouldn't that be the same thing? One, Barrett and Tifa do not have even near, almost near. It's the same thing with, well, it's not the same thing, but it's similar. They do not have any history whatsoever. Certainly not the type of history that Cloud and Tifa have, which is confirmed has always had some romantic context to it. Two, Barrett was,
let's end this quick.
Let's see, Barrett was homeless when he met her. His wife had just been brutally murdered. He had a baby with him. Oh, come on now. Damn it!
Try me. My turn.
Hold on. I'm not paying enough attention. Okay, he had a baby with her. I mean, a baby with him. He needed a place to stay. Tifa, you know, she understands what it's like to be starting over. You have to think about it that way. She saw a man who was trying to start over after a great tragedy. She could relate to that. She's a nice person. She found a way to get them off the streets, so she got them off the streets. Now, so not only do they not have, you know, there was a great need involved, which is he needed a place to go. He had a baby. They have no history together whatsoever. And Barrett is nearly twice Tifa's age. And I know that is not going to be solely convincing, and I wouldn't necessarily say that is the only factor. I mean, I'm sure Don Corneo does not care how old he is in comparison to anybody. But that is to say that it's way less likely. And they lived together for years. If there was any potential for a romance to happen, it would have already happened.
Keep it together.
There would at least be some indications of it. You would see some sort of sexual tension between them. You would see some sort of, you know, some kind of clues as to, you know, oh, things, you know, awkward silences between them, or statements from Barrett like, oh, things could have worked out. You see nothing that suggests a romantic interest or romantic history between them, and they lived in the same house together. So it was, and I'm sure if that was what they really wanted, their friends would have accepted it. So there's no reason to think that they were ever attracted to each other. Where the hell is this? Okay, I'm going straight. Casually goes to the military proof. Yeah, if somebody finds that quote about from Nojima, that's fine, but even then, it's speculation. So what does it matter? You know, he said maybe it could have worked. I mean, let's say best case scenario, he said maybe it could have worked. Okay, doesn't matter. She's gone. I mean, like her just being alive wouldn't make a relationship. There would have to be a relationship that actually formed. My guess is he's speculating in another world if she had lived and maybe Tifa and him broke up or felt, you know, but there would be a lot between her living and that actually becoming a relationship. You see what I'm saying? It's not just oh, she's alive, now they're in love. You'd have to actually make a plausible point A to point B on how they would fall in love. Other dudes' interest in Tifa. Yeah, oh, they definitely do that. That Barsan or whatever. Barsan or whatever. How she supposedly, I mean, they just think Tifa's in love with any man that walks by. I don't know what is going on with that. I mean, Aerith, and no knock to Aerith, but I mean, a dude crashed through the roof, and 10 minutes later, she's offering him a date. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I don't think Tifa would have done that. And I mean, again, no shade, because if I was, did I already do whatever the hell I was supposed to do in it? No. Oh, good God. Okay, let me pay attention for a second. Oh, I know what. Okay. Sorry, I'm so busy running my mouth. I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And look, if Cloud Strife if he fell through a roof, I would, look, I'd be asking him out too. So I am not knocking her. I like her chutzpah, frankly. I like Air's chutzpah. She saw a fine man come through the roof and she like, look, sent by God. I'm gonna go ahead and holler. I'm not even knocking her, but I'm just saying, like, Tifa has shown no interest in any man other than Cloud.
Teach you a lesson.
Yeah, Cloud. I love Cloud. Was like, you know what? Nah, forget. I'm willing to die to impress Tifa. Let me go join the army. All the other guys from the town, they were like, oh, let me go get a good job somewhere. He's like, oh, let me go get in the army and be willing to die to impress her. All right, I think there's one more. We got to do. I said 2 hours. I'm running my mouth so much. We ain't nowhere near being done with this. I'm glad I'll be happy when they get these aerial mechanics. They're better in Intergrade, but they can still be better, especially with Cloud. And Tifa is ridiculous. I really gotta get better at fighting with her. Yeah, she really do. Cloud. Oh my God! Do you imagine the sex they must have after every? Oh man. I mean, all that adrenaline pumping. You just want to battle.
That's the way to do it.
You gotta imagine. Yes, thank God. Get the hell up out of it. We've been in here 20 minutes. Yeah, I really appreciate all the questions so far. I probably should have just made this a just chatting so I could focus on one thing or the other. Sorry about that. I really wanted to play this chapter though.
Got rid of those drakes in the factory, did you?
Yeah, they tough and flexible. Mm-hmm. Girl.
Keep it up.
I might need to read some of Nightmare's fan fictions after.
You can't get it.
Well,
no, I get it.
Yeah.
And I know I switch out my stock every so often, so drop by.
Those disgusting.
I think the chat tomorrow will be fine. It'll probably be more fun than, I think Gyrus is going to be the only, and, well, that's not, there is going to be some contention. I mean, when you are shutting someone's ship down, or what they thought about it, for instance,
Thanks for chilling me out.
Thanks to the awesome.
I don't know. I think everything will be okay. I hope it goes well. I don't see any scenario where we're going to be attacking each other, Again, I can't speak for Jarvis. I'm just talking about me and Lily. I don't see any scenario where we're going to be like attacking each other or anything like that. We may not walk out the best of friends, but I think it'll be fine overall. The devs have purposely kept things ambiguous. I think what they've.
That was definitely a cat. I wonder if it's one of Betty's.
If the planet's a living being, we should be learning more.
So with the ambiguity, and they have been dodgy about it and back and forth and stuff like that.
But it's outside.
I think what has been intended by the original game versus what they have clearly landed on now has evolved. I mean, it has been 25 years. They've had all this time to think more about the story that they wanted to tell and how what the story was that they told fell through. And I think they also realized that some of the things they did for shock value, like adding that mini game and stuff like that, which is why they've taken it out almost entirely, that little mini game, the dating mini game and stuff like that. I think they've realized that between the technology, the limitations of the technology that they had at the time, and then just evolution, as a writer, you're going to perfect your story, which is why Remake seems so much more clear cut and crisp and streamlined than OG. I just think it's part evolution, and I think it's part correction.
Gotta be around here somewhere.
They realize now that there was too much ambiguity. By giving players so many choices about Cloud, it erased Cloud in a sense. And that was really a big mistake. Cloud is a complete character. He has a complete story that you can track. But with the way that they made him in the OG, it did seem a little, I don't know how to say the term, but where you can just kind of choose your own adventure, basically, where you could just choose who you wanted Cloud to be with, when really it was a plot device to make the live stream seem more shocking. But yeah, I think they're just realizing all the flaws that they had in OG, and they're correcting them one by one. I think that's a big reason why they did Zack's story, not only because it was an interesting story, but to show why Aerith was so attracted to Cloud in the first place. In OG, there's really only a couple lines and then like 2 or 3 cutscenes that even... Yeah, Cloud was open-ended. And well, I mean, that was the appearance they wanted to give, that he was open-ended in the first disc. And when you have that element and then you have one of the love interests die, people are going to say, oh well, had she not died, then they would have been together. I mean, that's where, unfortunately, that's how they left it, is you know, almost like Tifa was a consolation prize. I mean, if you wanted to see it that way, you could see Tifa as a consolation prize, as opposed to she was always in game in the first place, which she was, which is what the live stream showed. He was always in love with her. But yeah, it was choppy. It was a bit all over the place in some areas, and OG suffered a lot from too many cooks in the kitchen. They actually showed that there's one more cat I didn't get. They actually showed that where is that little nook? Okay, there it is. I've seen interviews where they said that there were people who were working on it that didn't even realize what the climax of the game was, which was the live stream scene. So if you're working on this game and you have this love triangle supposedly happening and you don't know what the conclusion is of it, the fact that Cloud was never, you know, really in love with 2 women in the first place, yeah, the dialogue and the certain things are not going to be cohesive with the rest of the story. So now, if you ask me why they've been so back and forth about it, it's just been one big 25-year evolution on them trying to correct all the mistakes that they made in OG and decide ultimately. And I'm pretty sure it's been generally lucrative for many years. And then also we have to realize, even though we all played this game, there are a lot of people who haven't. And just like with Remake, the reason that they're not being clear-cut about it right now, they could end this LTD thing today. The reason they're not is because they're still trying to sell a game, and
this sucks.
They don't want to shut down, even though they've cut a lot of it out. There's still that, you know, there's still a little there, and like we said, Aerith is already sort of rejecting his feelings. They're going to add the Xerath in. She's going to die. We're still going to see the live stream in the highway scene, and then what? You know, I'm sure they figure, let's just do the ultimate Claudius canon thing by having them kiss under the high wind or something, and the LTD will be settled after Remake. I have no doubt about that. They're just not going to do it right now, and it's going to drive us crazy for the next 10 years. But they're just not going to do it right now because it really wouldn't benefit them to shut it down.
What?
When we got at least 2 other parts coming.
So
you know, they're also thinking like a company. As soon as Cloud became more concrete, yeah, oh, absolutely, because you know, pretty much after the Gold Saucer date happens, they go to Temple of the Ancients, and then Aerith dies. There's no reason to be.
People are talking about you right now.
You know. And Cloud says things like, oh, Tifa's opinion is the only one that matters to me, and you have all these things that happen between Cloud and Tifa after that.
So you want more of a challenge?
It's not that Cloud doesn't think about Aerith later, but I mean, she really isn't at the forefront of, you know, I was just playing this over the summer, and there were times I forgot that she died. I mean, because the characters don't talk about her, it's just like, this is like it never happened in many parts of after this too. Still don't know Aerith does. Yeah, mainly because. Well, and the reason this LTD thing has exploded in the last 2 years, 2, 3, 4 years, is because now that they've added this element of changing fate, as we've just said, the way that they left it before, because the first disc was so Aerith heavy and made it seem like had she lived, maybe something would have happened. Now that's just reignited clerics who think that, oh, maybe she will live this time, and if she lives this time, then they'll be together. Unfortunately, she's not going to. But more importantly than that, they can't leave it that way this time. We see what happened the last time they left it that way. Now, I think most people would be done with the conversation, even if they did just leave it at that. Oh, she dies and just forget about it. I think most people would be done with the conversation. But I think what they're going to do is lean into the Xerath, and they're going to confirm CloTi with a kiss. Like, confirm CloTi. Because, unfortunately, there's a large amount of people, especially in the North American fandom. We're so used to soap operas and telenovelas and teenage dramas where people are having sex every other episode and big affirmations of I love you and this and that. We're so used to over the top, you know what I mean, that the subtlety of Japanese media, some Japanese media, I think just goes over people's head. It's and if you, and particularly if you're already inclined to not believe that CloTi is canon, you're going to take that subtlety as confirmation that you're correct, rather than you're just reading into what you want to believe. You know what I mean? Like, if you're already inclined to believe the opposite, the subtlety of CloTi is going to work in your favor. So that's why I think, just for the sake of ending this once and for all, they are just going to have CloTi kiss. So it's not just me wanting a CloTi kiss. That I genuinely believe that is how they're going to kill the LTD. And I made a bolder prediction. I actually think we'll get a Xerath kiss as well. I hope so. I think maybe my guess is when she enters the live stream, they'll do some sort of, you know, big to do about it, and she'll run into his arms and they'll have a kiss then. I'm hoping. My boldest prediction yet is that we'll get a Xerath kiss before we get a CloTi kiss, and that will really. That'll be it. I mean, because you have to think about it. If she runs into Zack's arms or they do anything like that,
last sighting was in Scrap Boulevard.
That's Aerith choosing Zack over Cloud, which is more important than Cloud choosing Aerith over Zack.
Anyone else around here?
I was like, Aerith over Zack. Oh, I love the Zakoras are gonna love that one. We're gonna clip that out. But there's gonna be way more confirmation than Cloud rejecting Aerith, if you ask me, only because, you know, particularly aunties, I'm not talking about Claire's, I'm talking about aunties, they're just going to say, oh, Tifa bullied him, and oh, he just felt so bad about Tifa, and, you know, he knew she'd be pathetic without him, and so, you know, they're going to say all that. They're probably still going to say all that, but I think Aerith, and again, that's why, as cloudy as I know, the resolution scene is frustrating, but I think ultimately it works in our favor because the fact that Aerith is rejecting him, I think not only shuts down Clarith, but then when she goes, you know, like I think what they're trying to get at is she never got over Zack, and so Xerath will feel a little more natural as well. What I worry about is, like, if she had continued to pursue Cloud and then Zack showed up, that people would probably take her choosing Zack as guilt rather than her wanting him in the first place, which is what I don't want. Alright. I hope it's beautiful as using. Yeah, I love that too. You know, and that's another thing. And this is why I mentioned the thing about the kiss. It's not really. Now, they do eventually, you know, like in Ultimania, just like they do with Cloud and Tifa. They acknowledge that Titus and Yuna have mutual feelings in Ultimania. But, like, okay, so he kissed her. If you look at least in the English, I don't know about, I can't speak for the Japanese, but the English is pretty ambiguous as to whether or not he's actually into what am I trying to say? Outside of attraction, you know what I mean? Like other than the kiss, and then in the English, Yuna says I love you, but in the Japanese, she didn't even say that. She says something like thank you. What? I don't understand why that's considered, other than the kiss itself. There's really no reason that Titus and Yuna should be considered canon, but CloTi, who literally are living as a married couple later, shouldn't be considered. Do you see what I'm saying? That's my frustration with the North American and this fandom in general. Because Titus and Yuna kiss, even though nothing else really happens, they're canon. But CloTi doesn't kiss on camera, but it's confirmed they had sex. And they moved in together and started adopting kids, but they're not canon. See, that's the kind of stuff that bothers me. Oh God, this damn dog's in here, ain't it? Ooh. Okay, let me make sure I'm healed up. Okay. I'm about to... Ooh, this dog is no joke. But yeah, you get what I'm saying with that. Like, that's why I get frustrated with, like, the Squall Renoa. Okay, they kiss. Look, it's not like they say I love you to each other. Now 9, honestly, I cannot remember if Dagger says she loves Zidane. Now again, it's obvious they love each other, but if we're talking confirmation, a couple of 17-year-olds kissing or hugging, I just don't see how that's more confirmation than two grown-ass adults building a life together.
Damn it.
Oh yes, it's that would be amazing. And have kids. Yeah, the standard, Monk said it perfectly. She said the standard for CloTi is basically astronomical. Like the bar for CloTi is up here, and the bar for Clarith is down here. If he literally looks at Aerith as she's talking, that's evidence of romantic feelings. If he high fives her, that's evidence of romantic feelings. Okay. If she says to him, no matter what happens, you can't fall in love with me. Just by her saying those words, even though they've known each other 72 hours, that automatically, then that must mean that she knows something. At some point, they must have been in love, and that's why she's telling him now, or you know, all the wheels start turning. But if Cloud gives Tifa a flower that literally means reunion of lovers, or even if it doesn't, I know the Japanese I don't think says that. For sure, let's take that out. If Cloud gives Tifa a flower, which is obviously romantic, that is not proof of romance. If Cloud full frontal hugs her multiple times during the game, holds her while he's crying, holds her so tight that she has to tell that man to let her go so she can breathe, that is not evidence of anything. If he makes a romantic promise to her under the stars, she asked for the promise, so it didn't count. Because Cloud has no ability to say the word no. Yeah, Cloud has never said no to anybody. You know, it's nothing CloTi can do is ever good enough. I literally asked somebody one time, I said, so if Cloud and Tifa kiss, you know, let's say I was like, okay, because they were talking about Titus and Yuna. I said, okay, so if CloTi kisses during during Remake, will you then acknowledge them as canon? They actually said to me, well, if the kiss is convincing enough, okay, well, then we're done. All right, so you just made this barometer. Not barometer, but you just made this this thing that, if two characters kiss, then it's canon. You just made that bar. So I say, okay, so if CloTi kisses, then they're canon, right? Well, like the kiss has got to be convincing of. Well, what exactly do you need to happen in this kiss for it to be? Look, I don't know about you. I don't know about any platonic making out between. I don't even know what to say to that. I'm flabbergasted even now. Oh, absolutely. And that's another thing. Are you telling me if Cloud had known Aerith as kids, almost died jumping off a cliff trying to save her, asked her out on a date at the date spot of the town under the stars and told her his hopes and dreams in life. Made a promise to always protect her. Hey Matt, I appreciate the follow. Made a promise to always protect her. 7 years later, he fulfills that promise. Then the live stream scene shows that he's always been in love with her. Then they have sex under the stars. They make love under the stars the night before they're about to do the big battle. Then they move in together. Okay, they build a house with their own hands. You understand what that even? Build a house with your own hands with somebody. Then she starts her business. She helps you start yours. You take in 2 kids. And it's one thing to take in a friend's kid because he needs you to help. They took in a whole other kid. Like, Denzel is their child. Are you telling me if he did all that with Eric, people would be calling this platonic? I mean, come on. There is no way in hell this fandom. And these same people who, and this is my problem with these non-shippers and all that. They want us to acknowledge that Cloud has equal feelings for Tifa and Aerith now, with no evidence of it. Can you even imagine if the roles were reversed, what they would be saying to us about Cloud and Aerith? And they'd be right. If all that was flipped, and he'd done all the stuff he did with Tifa with Aerith, I would be a fool to say it wasn't canon. Yeah, I mean, honestly, they would be absolutely correct to say, Andrea, you are biased because these two are clearly in a relationship. and I would hope that I would have enough, integrity within myself to tell the truth. Because honestly, like I said, I never thought he was really in love with Aerith, but had they wrote this to where it looked like he really was in a love triangle, I would have accepted that. I don't have a problem with that. One, we've seen these stories 100 times. It really doesn't change anything at the end of the day because he still ends up with Tifa. So if that's my end goal, I'm not bothered that he was in love with Aerith. You know what I mean? Like it would not have bothered me if he was in love with Aerith. If I thought he was in love with Aerith, I would tell you. It wouldn't bother me. But I don't think he is. That's just a fact of the matter. I'm not gonna throw around words like integrity and stuff. I mean, I realize that's not gonna go well. I'm just talking to y'all. I'm talking about for myself. What I'm saying is that I would hope that even though I am biased, that I would acknowledge the truth. That's what I'm trying to say. Because we all are biased about a lot of stuff, I mean, when CloTi say we aren't biased, we are biased, but it doesn't mean that.
That's a win.
But we're biased, and the facts also lead to our bias. That's the difference, I'm biased in the idea that gravity exists, and gravity also does exist. That is the difference. Okay. So I don't think there's anything wrong with being biased, but if your biases keep you from
gotta say,
seeing,
I've never seen a Shinra break like that before.
Seeing,
out of curiosity,
like acknowledging the evidence around you, then that's where biases
the
are
first
a problem.
reports came in just
I've
this
talked to
morning.
Ziana and many people about this, but
Why do you ask?
with Fruits Basket, I was a Toru and Kyo. I'm sorry.
crazy
Yeah, Toru and
story
Kyo.
about a
No,
Shinra
not Kyo.
research lab.
God. Sorry. It's like
Right beneath
I was a
our
Toru
feet
and
under
Yuki
the
shipper.
slopes.
Still am.
Really? That's news
And
to me.
I am biased for them. And
here
there
I
are still
thought you might
elements
know
about
something I don't.
Yuki
Well, I
and
guess not.
I'm sorry,
a big
Kyo and
organization.
Toru that I will
Sure, there's lots of
probably.
secrets
I mean,
going on.
I still
Yeah,
need to finish
fair
the
enough.
last 2
You
seasons,
got the
but
bastard. That's
and
good enough
I'm
for me.
open-minded about it. I'm not even against them being together. I'm not against Toru and Kyo ended up together. I've accepted that. That's what happened. I've accepted it. I may not ever ship it, but I've accepted it. I've just accepted that I'm wrong. You know what I mean? But in that context, it actually was more up in the air because she had just, like, she knew them similar amounts of time. She knew of Yuki more than she knew of Kyo, but you know what I mean? Like, there's a similar history there. And she really was sort of, she really was back and forth between those two. She had feelings for both of them. That was a genuine love triangle in my eyes. with Cloud and Tifa, I just feel like because just because of Cloud's history, and you know, he's a 21-year-old virgin. I mean, he's never kissed a woman. You have an attractive woman. Hitting on you. Anyone would be. I mean, you're going to feel something back, and you're going to be, you know, you're going to be flattered by the advances. Cloud is not used to that type of attention. Now suddenly he's a grown man with all these muscles, and now all these women are coming after him. You know what I mean? It's a new experience for Cloud. But passing attraction is not potential for a relationship or love to me. That's the difference. I don't know what the hell I was even answering when I went on that tirade, but sorry, I'm all over the place. I feel like the source clearly points to Cloud and Tifa having a relationship. Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's another thing, and I want to be clear about that in the podcast tomorrow. In fact, I may even start out with a few words about how I feel about each character. If I had to choose a character that I most identify with as far as personality, it would absolutely be Aerith. I am loud. I am a little pushy, you know. I like to think I'm a little spunky, fun, you know. And yeah, there's a lot about Aerith I like. She has her flaws, and I certainly have not been quiet about those. I was less into her in OG for sure. She is way better in Remake, if you ask me. But at the same time, getting to know her in Remake has made me understand her in OG. I still wasn't crazy about the way she treated Tifa at times, but now that I have the whole compilation behind me, what? Don't say what? That's funny as hell. I may not say all that. I'm just talking to y'all. I'm just saying I don't have a problem with Aerith. That's what I'm saying. But and I don't think that people should automatically take that just because you. Yeah, I won't go on a whole diatribe about how much I love Aerith. I'm just saying. I don't think people should take you preferring one ship over the other as you liking, as it's something to do with you, how much you like one girl over the other or anything like that. For instance, as I said, Cloud has been my favorite character the entire time. I was pretty neutral about Tifa. I mean, she was fine. I thought she was badass, but I've never really had any feelings, you know, like she was never, let me put it, I was never a fan. I wouldn't have considered myself a fan of Tifa's until probably after Advent Children. But I always acknowledged CloTi because it was clear that the story was Cloud and Tifa. Oh, I know, I'm about to lose some moots on that one. But no, I have a lot of unpopular opinions when it comes to it. I mean, seriously though, I really do like Aerith in Remake, and I know a lot of people don't. And look, I am not the Phantom Police. I don't care. You know, I don't care who anybody likes. Nobody's gonna tell me who to like. So you know, do you? You know. But my point is, when it comes to shipping, people shouldn't take you not wanting one girl or the other as it having something to do with you not liking them. Now the difference is with Doki Doki Cult is I honestly can't even tell if they genuinely don't like Tifa. I think what Tifa represents for them is the loss of their ship. So that irrational anger they have towards Tifa, where she's a slut, she's this and blah blah blah. They're turning all their frustration about their ship not being canon out on Tifa. So a lot of people, because they behave that way, a lot of people assume that Cloudies all hate Aerith for the same reason. I can give you specific reasons why I didn't like Aerith in OG. I did not like the way she treated Tifa, particularly what I found underhanded was in Don Corneo's mansion. She reassures Tifa. One of the first things she says to her is, "Oh, there's nothing going on between me and Cloud, or Cloud and I." Now, why would you say that? One, if you didn't realize something was happening between these two. I mean, she could tell from the look on Tifa's face. I'm sure, like, who are you and what are you doing with my man? You know. So she knew something was going on, and she reassured Tifa that she was not interested in Cloud. Then she proceeded to spend literally the rest of her life chasing after Cloud. I just found that underhanded. Doesn't make her a horrible person. Doesn't make her. I completely understand where she was coming from. I understand her motivations. But I'm just saying, for me, I didn't like that. And I don't think that that's me being unreasonable. I don't think that anybody who feels like me is being unreasonable. I think that's a very valid reason. Not that, you know, you smile in somebody's face and then go around and do the same thing you said you weren't doing. I think a lot of people, if that happened in real life, would find that off-putting. So that's just an example, but I have very specific reasons why I didn't care for OG Aerith, even though, as I said, now I have a lot better understanding of her and I'm a lot more sympathetic towards her character in general. But Doki Code just comes up with nonsense. I mean, Tifa has big breasts. Okay, so does half the women on this planet. I mean, what's your point? What does that have to do with how, you know, her character? What does that have to do with, you know, and then the things like, oh, she yelled at Cloud and having children. This has been a big thing that's been going on for the last 2 days on Twitter. Oh, she yelled at Cloud. Well, Cloud abandoned her, didn't say anything. I realized he was looking for a cure, but all Tifa knew was that the love of her life just walked out on her. She's been sitting around heartbroken, still having to take care of these kids. And then it turns out that, you know, he was sick the whole time and he didn't, like, you know, and I mentioned this, I don't know if anybody's seen Uncharted before, not seen it, but played it. But there's a moment where Elena realizes that Drake has been lying to her again. And yeah, it's hard not to feel betrayed in a moment like that. It's like you either didn't trust me to help you, or you didn't think I was capable of helping you. Like what is, you know, we're supposed to be partners in this life, and you're keeping things like this from me. You're dying, and you didn't even tell me. So yeah, Tifa has every right to be pissed off. I don't see anything wrong with that. So to get back to the point, they just come up with nonsense reasons as to why they don't like Tifa. I'm fine with them not liking Tifa. If they have a problem with the fact that she was involved in eco-terrorism, I think that's a perfectly valid reason to be concerned about her character. if you want to take it there. I mean, I think it makes her complicated and a good complicated. You can see how conflicted she is. Even before Remake, she was, and on the way to a smile, she was very contrite, very sorry about it. Part of why she wanted to take in Bizzle was part of the penance for what she did. But there are definitely valid criticisms of Tifa. But just don't, you know, the stuff they come up with is insane. Alright, Tifa points up if you express concern.
Just like that, okay?
Yes, that is true. I thought that was so fascinating. So in Don Corneo's mansion, if Aerith is chosen and Cloud says, you know, you get two options. He either asks, are you okay? Or we gotta go save whoever the other girl is. With Tifa, if you say we gotta go save Aerith, you actually get more points. If you say we gotta go save Tifa to Aerith, you get less points. Now take from that what you will. I'm just gonna let that simmer. Interesting how that works. Gives insight into OG's character. Yeah, it really does though. You know, and that's the thing that's frustrating with a lot of Cloudies. You know, I mean, I can't speak for the fan. I'm just talking about Cloudies. I know we're teachers, we're programmers, we're this, we're that. A lot of us are, you know, like we. I notice a lot of us, particularly in my circle, and just in general, you know, when you see people who are translating Ultimatums and like a lot of that is in my world. That's a lot of Cloudies. We tend to be pretty analytical about this stuff, and we like to just dive into the story and nitpick and piece together things. It's very fun for us. Oh, this happened in this chapter, and then it's tied to this, and blah blah blah. The fact that we found that license plate, I mean, that was kind of amazing. Just a license plate sitting up on the wall, and then somebody look. Wait a second, that's Tifa's last name, that's Cloud's birthday, that's his I mean, we get really excited about stuff like that, so we're always just like analyzing and nitpicking, and that also includes analyzing the characters. And because the characters are realistic. They have flaws, but I think people think when we bring up the flaws of Aerith, it must be out of a place of malice, or you see what I'm saying? Like, they must be out of a place of mean-spiritedness when we bring up. And there are definitely some CloTis who throw plenty of shade at Aerith, and I am not gonna deny that. And I generally just scroll past the tweets because I'm,
Let's end this quick.
There's one thing. I mean, I'm not gonna. They grown. It's not got nothing to do with me. I like what I like. I don't like what I don't like. But as for the people I run with, at least, no, we do not just willy-nilly attack Aerith for no reason. And we talk plenty of shit about Cloud too, by the way. I'm like, this big dummy doesn't even know that Tifa's into him. We call him adorkable.
Keep those gloves up.
Like, we make all kinds of Cloud jokes. So a lot of it is just out of a place of affection because we know these characters. And yeah, but a lot of it is just we like to analyze the story. And if we're going to analyze it, especially when you're talking about why did a character make A, B, C decision.
Coming through.
Like, for instance, why Aerith wanted to spend more time with Cloud. Well, I think part of that was attraction, but also if you look at the certain questions that she was asking during chapter 9, it's pretty clear she was fishing for information about Zack. You know what I mean? Like that. So when we're doing that, it's not out of a place of, like I said, out of a place of knowledge. We're taking in the story and we like to talk back and forth. That had nothing to do with the podcast yesterday. I was just going on a little diatribe about that. Interesting. Okay, there shouldn't be an issue with Cloud. Like it. Oh yeah. Oh, I got you. I got you, Beza. I know. All right, girl. Thank you. Appreciate it. Woo! You should wish me luck right now because I'm dying at the moment. Dressed up as Goku. Cloud, don't die on me.
Need a breather.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, y'all have to realize it's almost midnight for me, so I'm running on fumes a little bit. It's gonna give me a good night's rest. We are almost to Alone at Last, and then I think this is the last one.
I'll do better next time. Promise.
Yeah, me too.
So we are finally about to see Alone at Last. Night, Zayana. Well, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for sure. This has been fun. I love talking about Cloudy. Cloudy. Oh yeah. I just love how Happy has become my pseudo mod over here.
And there he is.
Oh yeah.
I knew you were the right man for the
job.
job.
Oh my god! I just read what you wrote.
Real deal. Not like these idiots with their excuses.
Oh, Tifa should have dressed as Cloud because she wants to ride. Dressed as. Oh my god! I can't even read it. Tifa should have dressed as Goku because she wants to ride that Cloud. Look, poor Nimbus would not want you talking about him like that. Okay, he is an innocent Cloud. Okay.
Heard you, Rex Shinra. Guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Don't talk about poor virginal Nimbus like that.
Me? I'm just looking out for my people. All there is to it. Hell with you.
I really like her remake outfit, but something about Mama Tifa.
No more Mercs or Shinra. We'll build up
I do like her. I do like her having children costume too. But I haven't decided. I think ultimately her having children costume.
That's another solid gig in the books. You know,
but it's real
really
close.
Impressed with what you've done.
With Cloud, there's something about Zaddy Cloud. I don't know. I mean,
and don't you forget it.
I do. And seeing I'm in the same boat. I just can't decide. I guess if I had to choose with Cloud, I'd choose the having children. Because something about Zaddy Cloud is just,
which lesson was that again?
How tender he is with those kids. Oh, it's just.
Anyway, let's go.
I love it. Yeah, Goku's cloud has a name. It does. I forget where the name comes from. So Goku, Dragon Ball Z is actually based on a Chinese tale. I can't say the name, unfortunately, because I'm terrible. I don't want to screw it up. But the English name of it is called Journey to the West. It's the same story that Sayuki, if you've ever seen the movie, I'm sorry, the story Sayuki on the manga or the anime. They're based on the same tale. I think the cloud was in that as well. I think Nimbus was in there, but I don't know that it was named Nimbus in there. Yeah, the wolf details are pretty badass. But yeah, something about, you know, I like the, oh man. I mean, first off, they have matching outfits in that, which is just freaking adorable. That's another thing. You know, if we're talking about evidence of CloTi, Su Wong, is he the one, is that the person that wrote it? Yeah, Z, yes, thank you, right there. I was about to look it up. I knew how to, I was going to see how to say it, but, oh, that's, okay, I got you. Yeah, he was the Monkey King. So, what's really fascinating, and this is, I'm sorry, just a small, because y'all have no idea how I feel about Dragon Ball Z and Sayuki. What I love because I actually owned the books at one point for Journey to the West, but I need to buy them again. But if you know the story, Goku is born of a rock. He's born from a rock. And what I love about Dragon Ball Z and how it ties in. Now, I don't know if this, I mean, this could have been just a hell of a coincidence. I don't know if Akira Toriyama ever actually confirmed this. But you remember when Goku first got to Earth, he was like really bad. I mean, he was going to be an evil character essentially. But one day he was playing around a waterfall or something, and he fell and he hit his head on a rock. And after he hit his head on that rock, his grandpa, you know, ran to get him. Are you okay? And he became the Goku that we know now. So in a sense, the Goku that was in Dragon Ball Z was born of a rock. In a sense, he was reborn when he hit his head on that rock, and he became the character that we know today. I thought that was just a really cool Easter egg. Yes, he was born from a rock. Quite literally born from a rock. Alright, now we can do Alone at Last. We're done. So, let's get back home. Oh, or to the bar. No, home.
Good job ridding us of that pest.
If the planet's you never
Yes, now we're getting good, sexy, cloudy goodness coming up here.
Those bikes are...
Glad we no longer have a rat problem.
But yeah, I just thought that was a really neat Easter egg.
Don't take your eyes off it.
But again, I don't know if it was ever confirmed. It was just something that I thought up on my own, and I never bothered to even see if it was true. But it definitely fits.
Someone's back awful early.
Oh, Mama Marl.
Not that I mind. Would you two be dears and swap your filters out for me? I left them in your
But yeah,
room.
I love
Sure thing.
So Bear's
Not so
ring is
fast,
wolf-based
you.
and average.
Do
You know,
me a
I don't
favor.
know. I don't know about the
She
rings.
needs a friend. A real friend.
That's the thing. I've got to look closely at it. He
So
is
when she
wearing a
talks,
ring,
are
but
you
whether it's a
really
wolf ring, I have
listening,
no clue.
Thinking about her and
The
her
real question would
feelings?
be, is he wearing a ring right now? So next time I
Or
look
you
at
just
Barrett, I need to
going
actually
through
see
the
if he's
motions?
wearing a ring in this
Go
game.
on.
If he is, then it may just be his wedding band. I don't know why he would take off his wedding band and put on a different ring. But a lot of people theorize that because Marlene doesn't have one. Like, it seems like Cloud gave his to Denzel. Tifa's wearing hers. And Marlene might have given hers to Barrett to kind of let him know that he's still her father, feeling connected, you know. Yeah. But honestly, I have not looked at the ring on Barrett's hand closely. But it would seem, even if it is the same, like, here's the thing. What are we saying here? That Cloud got a ring made for Barrett and gave it to him? I mean, what's the theory here? You know what I mean? Now, granted, that's actually, people would have to be wrong about Marlene, though, because there's no way in hell she's wearing a ring that Barrett could fit. So, I honestly don't make any sense either way. But all I know is Cloud did not give Barrett a ring to wear on his wedding finger. I can promise you that did not happen. So either way, people once again are just finding this is exactly what I mean. You know, there's two ways that for me that other ships involving Cloud and Tifa, Clarifa, yes. There's two ways that other ships involving Cloud or Tifa exist to me, particularly Cloud. The way that they survive is through ambiguity and poking holes in Cloudy. So even though they're living as a married couple, well, are they technically married? Is that ring on her finger, you know, a wedding ring, or is this everybody's wearing this ring? Well, what does it really matter? It really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? They're living as a married couple. This whole thing of are Cloud and Tifa sleeping in the same bed? I know a whole lot of people right now who don't sleep in the same bed that are definitely in a relationship. Okay, we're talking about two people, and this is not even confirmed. I'm just saying, let's play devil's advocate for a moment. You're two young people. Yes, y'all did just have sex or whatever, blah blah. But we don't know that they necessarily jumped into a relationship after the moment they had. You see what I'm saying? Like you're still, like, they're building the house, they're building it. There's a kid here. Maybe they don't want to give the wrong impression. You know, like they're shacking up or what. I mean, there could be 100 reasons why they are not technically sleeping in the same bed. They could have just started off not technically being in a relationship, and then eventually they officially confirmed the relationship, and now they're sleeping in Tifa's room. And then if you look at the bed in Cloud's office, like, that thing barely has a bed sheet on it. Like, it's not something that somebody's sleeping in every night. That's clear. I mean, but you see what I'm saying? Like, they have to, we then have to go down, and this is why I said this whole what ifs, all these what ifs and everything, these are not confirmation of anything. What if they aren't sleeping in the same bed? What if that ring on Bear's finger is all they can do is just try to poke holes in the Cloudy, when the entire picture will tell you who Cloud is with. Is obvious. I know married couples say, yes, and that's another thing. I actually looked it up because I was curious. Something like up to 25% of Japanese couples, married couples, do not sleep in the same bed. And I've known married people who don't even share the same house, believe it or not. I mean, because whatever their schedule is, maybe they have to be in one state some time of the year, and so they see each other a couple. But there are couples like that who just, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not. I mean, what's more likely? Again, this is what I, because then when I bring it up, I had like a mood of mind say, well, now you're just being silly and blah blah. Okay, what's sillier? That two people who have a family together are sleeping together, whether or not they technically have two beds in the house, that they're still in a relationship. Yes, there's two beds in the house. That does not mean they're not sleeping in one of them. Okay. What's more likely? Is that more far-fetched, or is the idea that he's still pining over a woman that's been dead for 2 years more far-fetched? I mean, which one's more far-fetched to you? Is it more far-fetched that he's in love and in a relationship with the girl he's been infatuated with his entire life? Or is it more far-fetched that he fell out of love with that girl, fell in love with another one over a matter of 3 weeks, and then is still in love with her and still not in love with the one that he's currently living with and raising kids with? What is more plausible here? So when I start getting snappy with the comments, like, and I'm not going to do that tomorrow, but I'm saying when I start getting snappy with my language, it's because you're insulting my intelligence when you say stuff like this. There is not, name this man out here. Name this man in the universe that is working day and night, giving all his money to a woman, raising one kid that's hers, because in a sense you can think of Marlene as Tifa's kid, because she's raised her half her life, raising another kid. Neither of these kids are this man's kids. Okay, they building businesses together. Who is living with a woman like this and not in a relationship with her? I would love to see all these friends out here who are adopting kids together. Okay, please point them out to me. I know married couples less committed than Cloud and Tifa. Honestly. Honestly. And he's not cheating. I mean, they coming home to each other. Tifa Cloud has never given any indication he's cheating or into, you know what I'm saying? Tifa's never worried about whether he's gonna, you know, whether he's out running around with another woman. You know, a ring means nothing without action. I love Lucy type of couple, yeah. But seriously, Cloud and Tifa are more committed to each other than most married couples. What the? Why didn't he open the door? Oh, okay. I love how he knows how to change the water filter with nobody telling him how to do it. Maybe he was studying the sink the night before. Who knows? But it's just insanity, you know. You have got to. I was willing to believe anything coming into this game. When you're playing a game called Final Fantasy, you have to expect anything. But you can't just feed me any old story and expect me to believe it. You know what I mean? You can't just feed me. No, I'm not saying it wouldn't be canon if they actually wrote the story, but. The fact that all the clues point one way and you're trying to tell me to believe you over my lying eyes, I'm going to need you to give me a plausible explanation as to why what you're saying is more plausible than what is happening in front of my face. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I remember they were on.
All right, we got a couple more scenes after this. We're just gonna get to the beautiful thing, and then we'll call it a day because the rest of it is just Jesse asking him for a favor. So
they didn't need heroes
I love this scene. I'm sorry I talked over the moan because the moan was hilarious. I don't know, and for anybody who's watching who doesn't know, Cloud literally moans in this when she approaches him after she gets up. And Tifa the Monk actually show where he moans in all 4 languages when she approaches him, and I love that they go into his perspective. They do that with both of them, by the way, and they do it multiple times with both of them.
I haven't seen in a while.
I mean, the man literally and what cracked me up is Doki Doki Cult was like
still
they said funny. Oh well, Cloud was because the Ultimania said he was let down or something like that. They said, oh, Cloud was relieved when he realized Tifa wasn't trying to have sex with him.
You know what?
Yeah, look at this woman. Okay, they want you to believe that Cloud was relieved that Tifa Lockhart, look at her.
Why not?
Tifa Lockhart didn't want to have sex with him. That's what they want me to believe.
Not like fancy, but I'll figure something out.
Now look at this, by the way. I keep telling y'all, Tifa know what she doing. Just because she don't do this, just because she ain't doing this for every man in the city, does not mean she don't know what she doing. Jesse taught this girl well. Oh, what would you like me to wear? And then she stands. What would you like me to wear? Come on. And then look at Cloud's freaky ass with these. Now, before it said mature, I don't know why they changed it to refined. But his options were mature, sporty, and exotic. Okay, I mean,
something exotic.
Really? Now, when Cloud was asked about Air Scrolls, he was like, well, no, you know, either he said it's all right, or what does it matter what I think? Tifa asked him, oh, what you like me to wear? Let me think about this now. Let me think.
This is going to be so much fun.
Is the birthday suit an option?
Yeah. Maybe.
You know?
And on that
I wouldn't mind that birthday suit.
I think it's time we head back to the bar. Come on.
And then she's trying to leave. You don't need. Wait.
Honestly,
do you need a break, please? Please, just come lay down.
Marl isn't always right, you know.
And then look at that. Marl isn't always right, you know. They are just. I cannot deal with Cloudy. I definitely thought that these boots in her thing were her cowboy boots, but it doesn't appear so. But they're similar. They're just not the ones she was wearing 5 years ago, obviously. And then I love that she has the punching bag. That's so badass. Yeah, they zoom in on her lip. Exactly. And then when she says, be sure to get an outfit that matches mine. They trail the camera up Cloud's body. I mean, it's so obvious what's happening here. Gosh. Y'all are getting me animated. My mom must think I'm insane. I'm over here screaming. It's midnight. Oh man, CloTi gets me excited.
Hey, Marl. We took care of the filters.
And then even Marl can tell something is different about Tifa after that 20-minute conversation.
Oh, you're looking pretty chipper.
I don't feel that different.
Must be my imagination then.
Just my imagination.
Anyway, keep your
now the
wits
people
about
who
you,
know
Mark.
her best,
a token of my
Marl
appreciation.
and Barrett,
Be good to her.
both know something going on between these two. Now, what does that tell you? And she hadn't said a word to them. So what does that tell you two? You know, that's... And if you don't know, for anyone who's watching who doesn't know, Marl gives you that crescent moon charm. Yes, Rolling on the Floor said it. Marl gives you that crescent moon charm. And let's look at, let's just take a quick peek at what the inscription is. I want to show y'all how platonic this inscription is on this crescent moon charm. A charm imbued with the fervent desire to be by one side for eternity. Now that sounds platonic as F. I mean, that is all kinds of platonic. Hey, JJ Beats, what's up? How you doing? CloTi die. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I mean, I know what D-Y-E means, but I don't. Look, I'm old. You gotta spell this stuff out for me. I'm still trying to keep up with y'all kids.
What's gonna happen to
All right, let's get to our beautiful scene. One to Tifa. What? All the way. Oh, yeah, exactly. Thank you. So he gives that one to. Oh, for the win. Okay. Sorry, JJ. No, trust me. I'm the dork here. I'm way behind on the lingo. But yes, Rolling on the Floor. You're right.
And
so
here we are.
Cloud is given that one by Marl, and maybe you know what? I wonder if Marl's the one that gave Tifa hers. They never say where she got it from.
Right. How about a refreshing cocktail
Think
made
about
by yours
that.
truly that you can sit back and savor?
Tifa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm feeling it a bit too.
Oh!
Hey, do you think you'll stick
It was a
around
typo.
longer?
I just assumed you knew something I didn't.
Work for a minute. Build up some savings.
I see.
On the way to a smile,
So,
yeah.
what'll it be?
Want
to head back out? for a little
I
while?
own. Hold on. So I have Tracer 2 Pass, as you can see. It is gorgeous, by the way. It is freaking ridiculous. I really wish this would have been an opportunity for some actual, but yeah, you can see it's all in kanji. But I've been reading some of the translations, and I know a lot of what happens, but I have not read the full translations yet. I especially want to get to Aerith's part, because I have not heard much about hers at all. And then, of course, I have On the Way to a Smile. And believe it or not, I still have not read all of it. I know a ton of what happens in it, but I have not read all of it. I really need to get on that. I just bought these books this month. I didn't even know they existed until this. Well, On the Way to a Smile I did, but the other one I didn't. Tifa only does wear one. Yeah, she wears one. Exactly. Like, if it was just meant to be earrings, she would, you know what I mean? But like, they give so many clues about CloTi that she's wearing one of the earrings, and then he has the other one, 2 halves. But that's so funny that For the Win turned to 9. I just assumed there was some lingo I didn't know. Let's see. I love how he just sighs Tifa. I know.
Yeah, why not?
Oh.
Well, you want to head inside?
Yep, I'm ready to head inside. Come on. Yeah, is that she does it so many times. Like in chapter 6, She just sighs,
Have
and
fun?
Cloud's like, Tifa,
Lots of fun.
what's going on?
Need y'all downstairs.
One thing I love
right
to do is
now?
make puns using book titles.
Then the
Oh my
plan
god.
Marlene, wanna go wait for Jesse
I
out
ain't
front?
going to spoil any of that stuff, but yes, they definitely did. Oh, but this
Looks
is
like we're
all
officially on for
spoilers
tomorrow
here.
night
Don't
then.
even worry about it.
Gotta go over the details with the
Don't
others.
even worry about it. Like I said, I know a ton of what happens. I just haven't literally
Can't
read all
get
of it
your
yet.
money. So sit down and shut up.
But I'm
until
going
we
to do that
finish.
very soon.
Double time, Tifa.
I know his expression and his voice. It's even more apparent in the Japanese, the way that he speaks to Tifa versus other people.
I'm really sorry.
Cloud look mad as a motherfucker. I don't even blame him.
Time?
He just risked a public
Grab a
hanging,
seat.
committing treason for these people, and they won't even pay him his money.
What'll
I
it
mean,
be?
even though we all know he did it for Tifa, but still, he didn't do it for Barrett. You know what I mean? Like, I think if Tifa had asked him to do it, he'd have just done it. He wouldn't even ask for
hard
money.
and bitter.
But because he was doing it for Barrett and Avalanche, he like, well, if I'm gonna put some skin in this game, just throw me a couple $100. Now look at this. They are eye fucking the hell out of each other this entire. Excuse my language for anybody who was young or. But the way they have been staring at each other this entire scene is insane.
Well, most people would say something sweet right about now.
I think theirs is more up to yours.
But you're a more discerning customer.